move.
It's done.
That is the move.
All right, right away. Right away.
Straight to jail, right away.
Right,
no, when you showed me that, that was my thing. That if I was putting a technical stop, it would have been a little bit below that
level.
Low.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, guys, not much time left here. We're gonna wait for this to open up again, right, Sharif? So yeah, let's see what we got going on.
Yeah, we have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Zuck's Revenge. No, good stuff, guys. Happy Friday. I'm glad that we had the ability to lock that in. I mean, we did have some big time opportunities that we missed on. So again, in the likes of IBIT, we were trying to get involved in this, and then sure enough, that was the move that we were looking for, and unfortunately, we didn't get to partake in that. But that's okay. You got to take it for what it is, and the same with the likes of Ethereum, ETHA, 222, another big time move, and we ran up here again, and boom, goes off to the races. So I love it when the crypto space is in play. It's a lot of fun. You get some big time moves, and then obviously we got to talk about our losers as well too, and that's going to be on Alibaba. We did take a loss on this one, not too shortly after the open, about let's see. An hour or so, a little bit less than that. We take that little loss there. So not too bad of a day so far, Sharif. I can't complain about it.
All right, Joey, I think we're about less than 20 seconds now. It is 40. We're waiting for 52s. Less than 10 seconds for that 10-minute threshold. Whether or not we open up at 10 minutes, here we go. 2, 1, go. Oh, no, it's selling off. I'm going to have to flatten out here, so we'll take an L on that one. Yeah, there it goes into the area low at 37, rocketing right back up into 38, Joey. So we'll give back a little bit of the day, but we'll stay positive on the day, believe it or not. Yeah, so I didn't take too many shares clearly here. But that's the look right there. So we'll give back a little bit on GMI. And oh, no, it's losing 37. Here it goes down into 36.
I mean, you had a $3 winner on it.
Yeah, I know. I was greedy. I had small shares. I'm like, let's just let it go, right? I didn't care. All right, guys, it's been a blast. I had a blast this week, straight up. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I will see everybody momentarily at the big desk. But for now, we're sending you to the big kahunas. Neil and Sean, that way.
There we go. My mic is on.
There you go. My mic is on.
Wow. So obviously you guys just saw Gemini.
Mic is hot.
Why is the position board is incorrect?
Yeah, punch out. You're still on Gemini. What the hell are you doing?
Oh, it would be in the money. I'm not.
Yeah, nice
no. Like I wouldn't. I'm not in that position anymore. I covered. I was about to tell you guys the slippage. The slippage on the 37 stop order was all the way down to 36.30.
Yeah, I got 29s. You beat me.
Oh, no, never mind. No, I did get 29s. I got 29s as well.
Okay.
But you got to keep in mind, this I had nothing. I had no size on this. I took way less than last time. So the slippage would have. I think the slippage would have been way worse. Way worse than, what was the other one the other day? Klarna? So it would have been much worse.
$2 slippage.
That's what I'm saying. This could have been nasty if you actually put on the regular size. Like, think about it. It instantly halted up. This is, just to give you an idea.
Where we punched out on Klarna? No, it was 70 or 80 cents.
70 or 80 cents.
You did better than me on that one.
I think I was 50 pennies.
Yeah.
But here's the idea how ridiculous this was. You know, usually when it opens up and there's all these outs on the way to the halt, with this, you waited a heartbeat and you were offering the halt price to the upside. Like that's how quickly it was. I'll use a 5-second chart to demonstrate. This is what the 5-second chart looked like on Gemini. It opened, and if you had shares, you were essentially getting 40. It was 37 to 40. It's the freest $3 we've ever seen.
$3.
This was actually
200 more. Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, this would have been better for me than if I had used the same amount of. It would have been better than any of the other ones this year, just based on the way that it moved. And then you could have had 44s and 45s on the way back down. It was a grip trying to get any shares out on the way down. Like, I think it was a miracle getting any 42s, and then I held on to less than 10% to run the bottom. And Gemini, look, all the other IPOs, to be honest, I didn't really look at them. I do know that LGN opened lower than the issue price, but this will say 35% to the upside. Really, if it closes under 37, that's going to be another one of these rug jobs. So just I'm going to hit refresh. I'm not in that position. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not updating. But anyways, that was worth the wait, I suppose. I guess. Yeah. And back underneath. And it's just breaking the lows now.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say. I mean, I tweeted it out what I did. It's just, yeah, like we didn't take, so I took like 10% of the shares I took on Klarna. Like, I was excited for Klarna, and then it went to the downside. And the same thing's happening here. I mean, the thing is that it gave us one opportunity in 1 minute. These are 1 minute candles. So it's like get in, get out. And then that's right where it halted the first time at $41 basically. And then so we're able to get out there. That was a nice little $3 move higher, right? And then it went whoops. And then there's the first halt. So there's the halt, there's the out on the halt. So I'm always gonna get something out on the halt. And then as it was falling back down, like Neil said, it was tough to try to figure out what to do. And I was just like trying to punch out because I was like, oh no. And then right there we got out just before it halted. So we got out a decent chunk just before it halted on the downside. So it's only had 2 halts. One there. You saw it both on the live show. And there's the breakout lower, and Neil and I both punching out of our last little bit there as we break through $37, which is the IPO price. So what was it supposed to go out at? It was supposed to go out at
28.
28. So still good for many of you that were able to allocate there down at $28. But I said to Neil, like, how can we, next time, like, so Klarna, I think it's just anything associated with crypto. So we'll wait. Yeah. But like, the other ones were down today, right? What was it? It was you have them up here.
It's LGN.
BIA.
No, so LGN was the largest by size. And it's actually up. It opened.
BIA's only gone up.
This one was actually interesting because the issue price was 28 and it opened at 27. So it opened lower and then ran. That's via transport, right? Via transportation. That looks trash. That one, well, no, that was. What does it say down? Oh, so this one opened lower and ran too.
It was good.
Yeah, but the issue price was 46, so it opened out of the money.
Right. It opened.
So it opened down at 44 and then bought up right into 46. Right into 46.
I think the big thing is like nothing is the same. And
no, not at all. That sucks.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, see, so this is what we're talking about, SF Day Trader, exactly. That slippage, that's why I was saying $2. Once it broke 50, it was $2 break. And that sucked. So.
Klarna.
Klarna, yeah. That's what this guy says right here, Klarna. What did I say? I think I said Klarna. But anyways, yeah, so what's up to SF Day Trader there? Yeah, tough one, man. The SPACs or the IPOs haven't been great. There's another one, VIA, as Neil was just talking about.
The fourth one.
BRCB.
That's the one.
Was the other one here. BlackRock Coffee.
BlackRock Coffee.
Here's BlackRock Coffee. You're up 38%.
I'm drinking tea.
All right, and there it goes. So here goes BlackRock Coffee potentially halting to the upside if it gets going again. So that's almost no, not really. I thought it was $30. No, it's only quickly up $1 there. So this one opens up at $26.50, but then look what happens. You lose again. That went down to 25 before it battled again. So all three, so far 3 IPOs we looked at, and the other one was LGN. LGN was the other one today. And that one, ooh, all right, we found the best one. There it is. I mean, this is the only one that actually did something that we're used to. It opens up right here at 27.
And it's the biggest one.
And then it goes pop,
by size.
Goes the weasel. And the thing is that it might have got you out, to be honest with you. It could have wicked that bottom there. And I don't know, depending on if there's a dark pool print that hits you out there, if it breaks through 27. But so today, 3 for 4. All three IPOs downside. And there goes Gemini making new lows right now. So thankful to be out of that one. And it's just like the minute you think you have something that's working,
they flip the script on you.
They flip the script on you. We've seen that with imbalance locators and stuff like that. Neil and I have been sitting here a couple times where we're like, oh, this is supposed to be a buy or this is supposed to be a sell. And it comes out the right way. And then in 5 minutes or 3 minutes, it flips the other way on you. And then you're like,
still wrong.
What did I miss? All right, so that's that. So 2:09 right now. We're going to have a special guest coming through around 2:30, so that should be fun. You know about it? You don't know about it? Neil does not know. Check
what?
your...
I am now checking.
Chat with me, you, and Brendo.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's a special one. It's not scheduled. All right, there goes Gemini right now, breaking $34 right now to the downside. So Gemini be in trouble right now. It is a failed IPO. You're going to hear, Neil and I joke about this all the time.
Nice.
You're going to hear CNBC say, Gemini opens up 21%. Really? Nah, it didn't. It opened up at 37 and it's now 34.50. So let's not pretend like everybody in the world is long here at $28 because there it goes to the downside right now. So Gemini, definitely another failed IPO. I mean, I don't know if Klarna failed. I mean, I should watch the language there because still up higher than, the projected range.
I think it's a fail if it closes on the low.
As day trade.
In my opinion.
Oh, closes on the low?
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as it holds the price of 28, right? I mean, if they could do better than 28.
Well, Klarna's already got to 40 today.
Yeah.
How many days did it take? Klarna got to $40,
2 days.
$40.25.
2 days.
2 days for it to get back to the issue
Tuesday
price.
it was. It opened
Exactly.
Tuesday.
We have the rundown ready already?
Yeah. What's up, Jag? Oh, Jag wants to know. Raider Trader, he went with another company, so I don't know what he's doing. He was an individual, and now he's with somebody, so they're not. We don't have guests on that or like selling stuff. Basically, at the end of the day, we have. We don't know. We'll maybe we'll bring him back. I don't know what we're gonna do with Raider Trader, but he's. Yeah, I mean, he's doing his own thing. He's doing his own thing. So we're not. Yeah, we're letting him be.
If he reaches out.
Yeah, he had told. Remember, he told us a whole bunch of times he's doing something now in Florida. We'll wait to see if he has any interest in coming back at all. But we always want to have the best guests. Yeah. And Raider Trader was great. So if we can.
Oh, shout out to who was it? What was the name of the viewer with the donuts? It was
Oh God.
Anyways,
I just remember Ecuador.
A big thank you to our friend from Ecuador because it was a score.
I just cut one in half. Oh man, it was so good.
It was it had caramel filling. It was so good. So
I went and did like 400. I did like 450 calories or something burned on the elliptical.
Well, at least you did that.
At least I did that.
I just sat here.
I just put them right back on.
And they ate a donut. I think let's get this rundown started.
Right back on. $33 Gemini.
Hey, let's go. We go home.
Yep. Oh, hey. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. I didn't even know, but the big boys were locked, and they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers over here is to get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But you got to throw in that $sign and then followed by whatever ticker you want. Vote all the way up to 2 o'clock, guys. Here's a look at all 4 major averages. 2 are green, 2 are red. Leading the way here is the NQ up nicely, 0.42%. A little over flat is the ES up 0.7. The Dow negative on the day, down 0.47%, coming well off the highs. And then the worst major average on the day, the Russell 2000, down a little over 0.2%. But here is the first ticker as decided by you guys, TSLA. And what a couple of days it's been for Tesla. Since yesterday's open, guys, on Tesla, we are up about 12 2/3%. Today, we're good for another 7 on the back of this headline. Tesla rises after the Nevada DMV approves autonomous driving tests in public. This was confirmed by a Tesla investor. Today, I confirmed directly with the Nevada DMV that Tesla's application to obtain a testing registry certificate was approved by the DMV Office of Business Licensing team yesterday. Tesla investor and influencer Sawyer Merritt posted on X yesterday, guys.
All right, so I don't know who thought about Tesla could go up today. Put your hand up. Aye. We just hit the trade that we thought we would get an opportunity to hit, and we hit it right away at 9:30. As soon as it broke that 372, I mean, we liked it right there. 365, office 365, support there, 372 long. I just said it was at a daily resistance. As soon as we broke above that 365 level that we made in May, I was all aboard on that trade, and this is what the trade looked like. I started tweeting it out a little bit. You guys can go over there and find the exact details, or you can just listen to what I'm going to say right now. There it was right there. There's 372, and the big break, if you sort of zoom this back out, we had 372 was right up into here. That's 369. There was no key level of 372. What we were looking at was this May break is what I typed in there. A break of 370, 369 and change got us above those levels. We were talking about this yesterday. If we could open up, remember yesterday was 368? Or something like that, and I was like, if this were a little bit more time in the day, we would have hit that. And then so today it was right away. It's the number one. I mean, we have Open Door written on here because always, but it did 1 billion shares. Tesla was our number 2 idea, and it was just the break of this pre-market high. That's all that we got 72 from. So there it was. It made a little wick dark pool at 8 a.m. I don't normally consider those, but I was just looking for an area to go long in. And if we zoom in even more, there's 70, that's 71.20. We just ramped it up into that level. 72, there's the break and there's the take. And all the way up, right? My best out is 90s. Once it broke the 50 period moving average, I did this was live on the show. We got stopped out when it broke there. So the fact that it's continuously moving upside here, I don't, Klarna's going to hold the day for me, but we did really, really well on Tesla. So that was a really great trade, and $14, $15 there to the upside. Now, obviously, it would be $25, but there's no way. Like, I don't know how to predict that. So we'll just hold it, and now we wait for 4 bills. You know, if 400 can come through, I think it might be a short.
It's a Friday. I don't think
that's what I was just going to say. If it ramps, well, Neil, we got to 396. So, and that, you know how long that took to get $4?
But 4 is a huge level on a Friday.
I agree, but this was 30 minutes to go $4. So I think Neil and I are going to say the same thing. It's just like, if it gets to 400, I think it's worth a shot looking at the size and seeing what's there.
You might
and then probably go. Yeah, like I think I'd go short like 99.50, you know, because if it breaks it, I expect 50 cents slippage, something like that. So that would be worth $1. So what I would always do is look to say, okay, let's just say you made $300 on Tesla so far today, and you only want to give back half. So that I would say you would only trade this with 150 shares. Because if you have $1 worth of slippage, which is potential in this name, right? Then short it at 399.50, wait to see what happens at 4 bills, put your stop order in or whatever, and if it breaks $400.50, then you can get out and you give back half of your day. I think that's worth it, but I don't know, like Neil said, it's a tricky one because it's late on a Friday, and the Nasdaq is up, and I thought it would be down today, so. Really surprised. We're going to go out like a lion, I guess, here at the highs, all-time highs on the Nasdaq, and you know it's now. Is this? I know you got to do something, so I'm just going to hurry up on this. Is this year highs on Tesla? No. So it made that. So that's December, January. So into here would be 420, 430. Like these are areas that puts it finally back to green on the year after all that happened with Trump and Elon and all that. But there it goes. Again, like we could talk about them not selling any cars, but it seems like the market has other ideas for Tesla.
Yeah, it's true. And in 14 years, they've had 0 hacks, 0 excuses. BTCC.com delivers when others don't. Trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla. Gold and Forex, if you're interested in that. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you can trade like them. Regulated in the US, Canada, and Europe, and trusted by 6.8 million traders. And there's a Trader TV Live exclusive. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and now so can you. And only while it's relevant, I want to mention this because it might become relevant again. On a 5-second chart, after the halt, GEMINI respected the one time it got to the volume-weighted average price, and then it was respecting the 50 period for a bit on the south side, then a bit on the north side. It just broke back underneath 50 period. I didn't want to wait till we got to it, just in case anyone's watching. I found that these lower time frame charts sometimes are pretty useful on the IPOs on the first day because you don't really have a lot of data to work with, and it's moving obviously very, very quickly. We'll talk more about GEMINI in a second, though. Sharif.
Open door next, and what a move it was yesterday, almost 80% by the all was said and done today. Giving back a little bit here, guys, about 12 and a quarter. No new news, obviously, on open, but there was this little media bit from earlier on. The chair of the open board chair, Rabois, says the company's bloated, guys, and needs to cut about 85% of its workforce, reports CNBC.
So 85%.
What's interesting this morning was, look, and we had no idea. We don't always know what Michael Moss is going to talk about, right? Like sometimes I think he's going to talk about crypto because of GEMINI, which we know he's into crypto. But today, he was talking about Opendoor. Now, personally, I liked Opendoor for some dip buys, unless it was going to hold over $10. Let me just get these fibs out of the way. If it had held over $10, I was looking for a continuation play. Obviously, you can see before the open, we lost the $10 level, and the only bounce zones I liked was right in here about 980, put that on the note, and then right in here in the low 9s off of this afternoon dip, which was about 1 o'clock yesterday. And both of those levels ended up being good longs. But what was interesting to me is I didn't even, sometimes these levels actually match. If you draw fibs from yesterday, you actually come up with those same areas. And that's what Michael Moss was talking about. He was talking about drawing the Fibonacci's. And if you look at these Fibonacci's, they actually were pretty good. Or Fibonacci's, as Sharif tells me I'm supposed to call them. So maybe there's something to look at for Opendoor when intraday trading. That said, yesterday was the big, massive volume day, so maybe it was only relevant for today. You already saw it bounce off the 880, maybe not as clean off the 920, very clean off the 960 there. If it drops down, maybe have a look at the 825. And then I think he said 750, but that's closer to 740 at the absolute bottom. So it was pretty useful to slap those in there. Although to me, they corresponded with some support and resistance anyways. So I think you would have liked it at support and resistance, but Fibonacci's worked as well. And this isn't even that bad of a pullback when you put this into perspective. Like this could pull back to $7.50, $8, and still be in an upward trend. The squeeze is still here. This has had pullbacks before. Down 11% doesn't really mean much. The shorts don't win if this thing goes down 10%. Not even close.
Yeah, Gemini still at $35. Yeah, so the only trade that I looked at today was open door at $10, and then once that was the actionable prices right at open, I didn't really want that. I mean, I thought if we came back into $10, that would be a spot where it would absorb, but it didn't really do anything. At 9:20, we had broke below that level. So for me, key resistance or support level of $10. We took the trade yesterday when it broke higher. Today, it's not going. And we had that pull up. Does Gemini get to $12? I thought yes, not right. Now it's all the way to the downside here today. Or sorry, Gemini, open door. I still think it's going to get back to the upside. I mean, you're another story away on Monday that, rockets this thing back up. When you're talking about taking risks on stocks, some days you're going to have to give back a little bit. You saw Oracle, with that huge move up and gave it all, not all back, but, broke that 300 level and gave it back a little bit. But same thing here for open door. It broke 10, and now I think it's trying to figure itself out. So we just maybe have to go to a 5-minute chart. So it holds that area, which is somewhat interesting there at 880. So I think that's your next area to look. Like, what about this? There's a huge gap there, right? And then comes back in and holds. So if you use those bottom wicks, I think 850. I think you can try to go long here, 880. Wait till 850. If 850 breaks, you get out. That's 30 cents worth of risk. I mean, you've already retraced back up 60 cents from that level. So I think that's good. You're getting a little cross up here between the 200 and the 50. I mean, fine. I like the stock. I like the stock at 880. So if we can get a dip buy into open door this afternoon at 880, let's go with it. Perfect timing, man. Gemini something space station.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Are they trying to get like the rocket thing going on there? But anyways, let's go talk to Sharif about Gemini and figure out why all but one IPO today is now underneath its open price.
Exactly, Sean. Well said. It opened up at exactly $37.01 after it was priced at $28 per share. It's oversubscribed. It was the previous range was 22 to 24. Ended up being given to the IPO investors yesterday at 28. To us, it was at 37.01. So not much more to say than that. Obviously, the name of the company is Gemini Space Station for whatever reason, but they're obviously dealing crypto, and they were looking to expand their retail offering as well into credit cards.
If you look at the recent IPOs, they've all been trending down, with the exception of MIAX, the boring Miami exchange. All they do is take every time they get a fill, they make that money on their gateway. And
never using their gateway again.
Well, I use it. I should have taken. See, that's the thing. I use their gateway. We could have all bought.
My bad, my ex-guys out there. If you're watching, my bad. I'll give you guys a lot. Don't worry.
No, well, every single day. I probably have some outrage.
Oh, you do every single day?
Well,
I have a decent rebate.
I put orders. Yeah, I put orders out on it every single day. I don't know if I always get filled on it. Bullish might be the example to use here. For
it's going to look exactly.
Like this is what the candle is appearing like it's going to look like. And if you look at the history of some of the recent IPOs, yeah, you do get an opportunity. These are prices you could have had on the first day. Like I know it's an ugly looking candle on the first day for bullish, but those were all realistic. You could have taken that open, and it was shooting to the upside, from 90 to 115, almost $120, and then you flush, and then you're in the middle, and then trending down. You get a couple of dead cat bounces, and then trend back in. I'm not completely convinced that Gemini wouldn't be any different from that. As I said, unless something crazy happens, it's going to look the same. It's going to look very much the same. Where if you didn't take the opening print rush, then maybe you magically believed in 33. I would almost argue, like, anybody shorting this, here's the thing, like, this would be OB, because it halts down at 40, and then it bounces and rejects 40 to the penny on the bounce, and then flushes down. So if you like the short, then it gave you the whole price, it gave you the retest, and then it flushed $7. So this can be played in either direction. I might be done with this for the day. The liquidity is actually not that good. Keep in mind, this was like 500 million. All the best ones have been over $1 billion in size. Like none of these four were over $1 billion in size. This one was only $500 million worth of shares coming out. So I think this is a one-day type event, or maybe a 20-second event, or the first 5 minutes, or whatever. And maybe you're just like thinking about the backside after that. You can look for a bottom. This one, I think if it gets to $28 next week, I think we take a shot at it to the long. You know, because I think it tries to hold green. Klarna did today, it bounced off 40. So I don't see why this one wouldn't try to bounce off 28 next week.
I'm pretty sure it will get to $28 next week. All right, so just real quick, almost the exact same chart. So in, out on the first halt, up, boom, down, leave it alone. You're right, Sir Poopy Pants. We missed one. It's FOFO. FOFO.
The Hong Kong.
Hang Feng Technology Innovation Company. It worked. This is the IPO that everybody is on. No, I don't think anybody's on this one. So opens up 450, I guess. What's the open price? No, open price is 525, man. So that actually goes to 450. So I'm gonna slap a fail on this, Sir Poopy Pants.
Yeah, I would have lost.
Never calling you that again, my guy. Okay, but 450. So yeah, I just think that. Again, if you held it, great. But if it opens up at 5 1/4 and breaks $5, you're still holding that. Like that's brave if you're doing that. So congratulations if you did that. But at the end of the day, this one is working out. And so let's just go the other ones just quickly. Then we're gonna go back to Sharif because he's got to get out of here. LGN right now. So this is another one that opened up today. So we can have a quick look at this one. This one actually is the only one of the 4 major ones that we had discussed earlier on today that looks like it works. So LGN comes in at $27, holds that level basically to the penny, and then just rips to 29 and change. So that was a working one too. Coffee, BRCB is Black Rock Coffee. That does not work. That opens up at $26.50 right here at the top end of these wicks. Tanks. I mean, I don't know. Down to $25. So that's BRCB. The other one is VIA. So we get Via Transportation, Via Rail, I guess, right? We have Via here. I like Via. Yeah, and this one actually, what am I talking about? Where did this one IPO at? 44.
That one worked.
This one worked too.
But it opened underneath.
Oh yeah, that was the problem with this one, is that it was under the issue price of 46 or something like that. So, okay, it still worked.
Maybe this isn't what I think it is.
Okay, it doesn't matter. This one was good. It goes 44 to 46, then flushes down. You definitely get stopped out on that break anyways. So that's that. And then Gemini. So those are all the ones that we had looked at today. And then we'll throw in for you, Sir Pants. We'll throw in FOFO for you, but there it is, man. Nice downside play for Gemini. I think we get lower. What is Bullish doing on this, actually? Let's just see quickly.
Probably falling.
Yeah, Bullish falling there. So again, failed IPO brings Bullish down.
Is that right at the open?
Yep, that's right at the open of the IPO right there, so no surprise there.
Of course it is.
And then Coinbase probably heading southbound on this as well. I don't think Coinbase should even move on this. Yeah, see, so Coinbase kind of just saying, hold my beer. So yeah, so far so good here today with the IPO. We both made money, so we're happy with it. I don't know what else to do. Like I said, man, I took about 10 times, I took more than 10x the risk on Klarna, and I made more money today. It's just, sometimes that's order execution.
I took 15 times the risk to make less on Klarna.
Less, yeah.
The degree to which we got away with one on Klarna, there's sometimes you make money on a trade, but it's you know it wasn't worth the amount that you risked. It was not worth the amount on Klarna.
Come on now, everyone saw you.
Yeah,
yo, Raheem is here. What's going on, my guy?
Look at you. The casual look in
Friday,
jeans.
Everybody.
It's Friday, everybody. I like the casual look.
If you see me on the street.
Where's Armand at? Yeah, isn't that
nice?
nice?
You can't pull him from school?
He did offer to take the day off.
Did he?
At least the afternoon.
All right, we can't talk too much. He doesn't have a mic. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah,
we have a special guest coming, and related to Raheem, but not his kid.
Yes.
So you have a couple guesses there if you want. But okay, so we're gonna do that in just a couple minutes.
Let's quickly get BBAI.
Yeah, I guess Sharif is still. Do you want to still do it?
Yeah.
Okay, watch out, Brenda. We got to use those cameras. Okay, let's go over to Sharif. We got maybe do them both.
Let's just do them quickly.
Sharif, do them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back over to Sharif.
All right, guys, let's talk about Big Bear first and foremost. Up nicely on the day, about 3.5%. It was up at 4% not long ago. Good headline for Big Bear on the day. They announced the expanded deployment of its mission-ready AI screening systems at Nashville International Airport. What it's going to do is basically going to speed up the U.S. Customs border protection process for international arrivals, kind of making border screening faster and more efficient. So good look for them. The second such headline we've heard from them at a major U.S. international airport. Last on the list, guys, IONQ, IONQ. Fantastic look for this one today, up 17.5%. Recorded record highs. Shares of IONQ rise after the quantum computing company said the UK investment security unit had cleared its acquisition of Oxford Ionics, which is a British AI startup. The market liking that to the tune of 17.5%, boys.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
It was great for if you're looking at IONQ or Rigetti. BBAI, really, you didn't have many chances here. It lost VWAP early. That was an L. And then it bounced off 5. The only place I liked it was VWAP and 5. And every time took it at VWAP was this one was flat. That's a loser. And then it held $5 a couple of times. So the only reason I'm up is because the $5 ones worked and the VWAP ones didn't. But it's a choppy downward trend. It's just no continuation. But what's interesting about it, and this is probably the only thing interesting about it, that's the exact same pattern from yesterday. So pop, trend down, and then you could short the lower high. So if BBAI does that again, you're almost thinking the same thing. But on the daily chart, what we talked about in the afternoon yesterday is still true. On the daily chart, it has broken the trend and is holding higher. So the bounce off the 200 period on a swing basis is still good and still valid. But the day trade was like a muted one today where you had to pick the right spots to be any good with it. And as far as IONQ and Rigetti go, we'll go with IONQ first because they were the ones specifically with the story. They both rallied. This is going to close.
Why do you gain?
I have no idea.
Hot fire.
Thank you. I have no idea.
Duh.
My mic apparently is having issues because of static.
Because you're electric, my guy.
I have no idea how that makes any sense.
I told you how.
Well, I'm not shocking anybody when I touch it.
You're shocking everybody, man. You're shocking the world. All right.
52-week high break on IONQ is all I want.
It is great, yeah. We want to say a big shout out to Brian Shannon. I mean, I'm not going to. If you come over to the screen here, Andre, I'm just going to say, I've already shouted this handsome gentleman out. He was on with me on Tuesday, and I said, yo, give me a call. And he said, what about Rigetti? And again, Rigetti today up 16%, and it was bouncing off the 50-period moving average on the daily. I mean, so shout out to Brian Shannon Tuesday. This is why you always have to, I told you, we're going to have the best guests, period. So there it is right there. He caught me by surprise when he mentioned it. He was talking about spaghetti, and boom, there goes Rigetti. So the whole space now is starting to go upside. Look, was it a great call? Yes. Obviously, we're here to give credit to anybody that makes good calls or bad calls. It doesn't matter. Just justified, right? I mean, you're waiting for news. It's not like it just bumped up 30%.
It's riding the...
Yeah, this is nice going. This is also the 200 period. So it's just, you need catalysts. So when stuff works off of levels, it does work out in this exact situation. I kind of feel it's that same thing as Tesla, right? I sat here for weeks and you guys were always asking me, why is Tesla not as traded by me anymore? And I said, as soon as it breaks this level, we can go one way, and then the downside, the levels are a little more difficult, but right there, we just put on our trade for Tesla for the month, basically, breaking that level. So I think that's the same thing with Rigetti. Technical level, yes. Give it a reason, yes, as well. All right, Big Bear AI. I'm still long 4 and change on this. It hasn't been great. Neil just showed it to you. Active early, that's where all the volume was. Pretty much 10 o'clock, volume gone. Got back going a little bit by noon when it tried to make a move higher. But yeah, this name, Big Bear AI, is pretty sleepy right now. Sometimes you got to let the bears hibernate. Just a little bit. And I think that right now, Big Bear AI, it got a news story. I really don't. I mean, it respected the 200 period there, but remember, that's 450. So it's not like buying 5 is the key dollar area.
I think the stop is 450.
I would almost buy it at 450 and then stop yourself. Because, I mean, again, as Neil was saying there, it depends on your risk tolerance. But it's just I bought this thing each dollar all the way down, and just small amounts of money. So I just think if you're waiting for a 50%, 100%, 200% winner, sometimes you got to let it go 50% against you. So that's why for me, I'm not putting in like, I don't want to say a number, but an unreasonable number. Something where if it does go down 50%, you're fine averaging in. And I think that that's tough. I wouldn't do those kind of plays
S&P all-time high.
On everything else. Yeah, S&P, yeah, NASDAQ, everything's all-time high. Neil, as long as it's above zero.
Well, the ES wasn't. The NASDAQ was. The ES,
okay.
The ES just went. The NASDAQ was already making an all-time high, but we just broke out. Well, we broke out while we've been talking. It didn't just happen 2 seconds ago. So let's get on up to the desk. We have a special... Oh, no, we're not ready. Okay,
Andre's going to holler at us.
My bad. I got ahead of myself. We'll wait. We do have our special guest coming. What is Open doing?
No, this FOFO. This is the other
FOFO
one. Yeah, I was looking at Open Door. This is to halt it.
Called again?
So this is Hang Zhang Fofeng Fi. Oh, this is Fi Fi Fofeng.
Fi Fi Fofeng.
Right now,
want a bottle of rum.
Let's just talk about it. It's Hang Feng Technology Innovation Company. So if you know what they do, congratulations. But it's just probably just one of those names where the Chinese government trying to get a little rich off this. It looks like it's trying to do it right now as well. So there goes FOFO to the OO upside. All right, so that's going to be halted and open back up in just a couple minutes. Apple there. I thought the Apple conference was actually pretty good.
And hold.
We were asked questions about, do we short Apple off that? What do I do if I'm holding puts? You know, you ran right into the 200 and the 50-period moving average, so those were areas of some kind of concern there that was really bought up. So, yeah, I don't know. We actually had a negative story today on Apple that they mentioned there may be supply issues.
But it wasn't that bad.
Or because demand or supply?
No, it was. There was a regulatory issue why they had to halt the iPhone Air, just only the Air in China. So like they had the date of the September 19th was supposed to be the roll date, and then they changed it to like undetermined. But you could still get, you could still get the 17 Max. Like it was only the Air, so it really wasn't that bad of a story. And I think, once you grasp that, it was too late because they bought the dip like right away on Apple. It's not as if there was like a secondary, it was just higher, low, and then by the time it confirmed the higher lows again, you were just in breakout territory for Apple. And that's the thing with some of these dip buys. If you think something is not supposed to be happening on a quality stock, then maybe nibble in. Like if you're waiting, like myself, like I'll use myself as an example because that's a better way to do it. Like if you're waiting to get something at the 200 period, in this case the 200 and the 50 period on the daily, you can nibble in here, nibble in at 227. You don't have to get it all at 222. Right, so if you're going to put like 10 grand into something, people always say 10 grand because it's like the number. If you invested $10,000 and so then you put in 5 here and 5 when it gets down there, like whatever. Like I think that makes a lot of sense when you see something as a quality value. Don't always have to wait for that perfect price because a long-term investment or buy the dip in a long-term play shouldn't require you to get a perfect price. I think that's a good example. Amazon, with any luck, is going to make another bounce off the 50 period. The difference with Amazon is every time it's respected the 50 period, it's been a multi-day event. It hasn't been a buy it on the first day. It's shown you that it's a multi-day event bouncing off the moving averages, and that is heading to the downside today. I believe it's the weakest Mag 7 name today is Amazon. We're at all-time highs. Amazon's down 1%.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, I like that to buy some. I mean, I don't.
Oh, at the 50, yeah, that's.
I'm in it, but
yeah.
One name that we got out $10 ago, and we only got out of a little bit, is Palantir. Palantir's up 4% right now, and really started going here in the midday, man. I mean, it took down that 167, held it, blasted it through. Now you're at 171 and change for Palantir. I mean, people call this stock like part of the war machine, but honestly, I mean, President Trump just renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And I mean, Palantir has all the contracts that aren't going anywhere, at least not under this current administration, I would think. And moving forward, how could they cut defense spending? I mean, you guys, I don't know, we're here in Canada. I don't know what our defense budget is. Maybe it's negative. But at the end of the day, I think a name like this continues to work, and Palantir, not just obviously with the U.S. government, but many governments around the world. And then the reason why Palantir's gotten going here since, I think it's the second best stock. I think GE Vernova might be the #1 best performing stock here on the S&P 500 this year. But Palantir would be #2, and it's starting to get back to those high sides again. So I would think that 190 maybe gets looked at again. And that's not too far away. You could be back to all-time highs next week on Palantir. And let's just hope that Citron Group and everybody covered. Because, man, oh man, the buyers came in like a lot at 150.
Of course they covered.
I would think that they covered.
You'd have to be brain dead if it holds the same level for a month to not cover.
I wouldn't be surprised. But at the end of the day,
I don't think that guy's not that dumb.
At least breaking there would be out, right? 163, 164. So that helped this move up. The same thing that helped out Tesla was breaking of key levels. And right there, same thing happened to Palantir. I should have had Palantir on the radar today, actually. Because of breaking of the 164 area. So good job there, Palantir. There's 164 bottom. There's 164 on the daily right there. All right, so bye-bye. Okay, so I'm not getting into anything. We are going to go over to
I was going to go to the visualizer before we go over there.
Yeah, do it.
So everybody, by now, hopefully you know the drill. If it's your first time with the show, then hey, it's about what stocks are moving, what's going on in the market, and for that, we love your input. So jump in the chat, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It's a subs-only chat. That's the most important thing. And remember, when you're typing in a symbol, put $ and that symbol. So don't do it yet because I'm gonna restart it. So if you just type the symbol in now, just start over again and hit it again. So we can see the names that are coming to see HIMS, Rigetti, Rocket Labs, Tesla. So we'll be able to go to our guest, and when we come back, we'll get an idea of what it is that you're interested in this Friday. But a special guest here for the afternoon.
I have no monitor, so I'm just going to wing it at this point.
Oh.
I am so happy that it's taken a long time to actually have this conversation, but Upeka Jain is here. It's for anyone who has been a longtime viewer, this is Rahim's much, much, much better half.
Why, thank you.
So I'll
take it.
It's so nice to actually have you in this chair. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you so much, Brendan, for having me here. It's really fun being on this side of the table.
You've been here a few times with Mr. Rahim, who's just off camera right now. We're going to talk a little bit about TIFF, and we're going to talk a little bit about the film festival world in general, because I was telling you just before we came on here, I was doing a little bit of reading on this afternoon, and I learned so much, not only about TIFF, but about this business in general. Starting just super high level, it's the 50th edition of the Toronto International Film Festival. If anyone doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about right now, Toronto International Film Festival is TIFF, just wrapped up here in the city. You participated in that in a couple of different ways. We'll get to that in a second, but just give me your broad strokes here for the film festival in general. 50 years?
It's huge. 50 years is huge, right? And a lot of people didn't even know that it was the 50th year coming up. But I think that just speaks to how much it's grown and how much visibility it's gotten over the past 50 years. And I think one of the most interesting things for me is actually not even this year. It's going to be next year. Because like we were chatting offline before, the federal government invested $26 million into the TIFF marketplace. And from my time at the province, I know that they're going to probably be putting in some more as well. They really want to make TIFF the flagship marketplace for film buying and selling in North America, and possibly a contender to cons in the world.
One of the things I was reading this afternoon, when you place TIFF in the film festival world, it not only falls right in the middle of Film Fest season, but it's also the largest film festival in North America.
It is.
Bigger than even the one in New York City that they have later in the year, and then there's a couple that happen earlier in the spring. When it comes to the business side of this, we'll bring this back to business world a little bit. I mean, the list is very, very long here as far as who is participating on the public side of things. Netflix, obviously, everyone's going to know. Apple, MGM, Paramount, Comcast, Disney, just to name a few, Lionsgate. Netflix, I think, stole the show here a little bit.
They did. They did.
You know, not only on how much they're spending, but the amount of debuts that they have.
Yeah, they had a significant number of debuts, and I think this was the largest year for them. But what was very important is that what we're seeing with Netflix is actually they are increasing, they're putting more money into their big sort of flagship releases. So we're seeing kind of like this division happening right now, wherein the big films are getting more money, and the mid sort of section of the film, I think 50 to 100 million, though that is shrinking. However, where they're starting to invest more are the low budget films, and they're trying to kind of hedge their risks here and ensure that if the high risk, high budget films are not making it, they are getting a lot of wins in the low budget films.
Which is super interesting. I mean, I think we went through a phase where you saw, you know, the blockbusters, if you will, take a bit of a back seat. And there was a lot of exploratory, you know, creativity almost that came into the film industry. But it's good to see that maybe down the road, I mean, this is going to take a little bit, you know, to get these films out to the public. But it's good to see some of that spending coming back again. From an investor standpoint, what do you take from that? What does it mean if you're an investor looking at that saying, okay, they're spending more money, but maybe they'll get bigger returns?
I think we have to also take a step back and look at the type of content that they're investing in, because entertainment now is not just art, it's an asset class, right? So content is an asset class, which means that whatever Netflix is actually putting their money into, whatever Amazon through Prime Video and Apple are putting their money into, if, say, Netflix gets a buzzworthy film, and then it becomes an contender for the Oscars, they are going to see subscriber growth increase, they're going to see their brand strengthening, and they're going to see, and all of that will have an effect on their stock price, right? So I think it's very important to see what they're investing in and what kind of films they're picking up.
Right. This has always been, Toronto has always been, you know, a hub for when TIFF is on, you get the biggest of the biggest celebrities coming to town. What were some of the highlights for you this year?
So I'm not really a celebrity crazy person. Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
The highlight for me this year was launching our own production company here at TIFF. I think that was the biggest thing, got us on the grind. We launched that on Monday. You were there?
It was so much fun.
Thank you. And I think for me, that was the highlight, because this marks a BIPOC South Asian-led production company right there in the midst of everything, where we're focusing on strategic partnerships, we're focusing in on investors, and really people who understand how scalable investing in art in entertainment can be, because we're talking about global audience here. With our project, we are looking to tap into the 44 million South Asian diaspora, plus it's got a WNBA angle to it, so bringing in that entire WNBA fan base as well. So I think really that's the highlight of TIFF for me. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, it should be. Come on. Is there? Can you give us a little hint as to maybe the direction you're going to head with this? What type of content? Anything you can talk about? Sure.
We are going to head into, you know, North by North, or there's a couple other co-productions. Maybe there's like a CBC Netflix kind of thing happening. Maybe it's an Amazon and, I don't know, Lionsgate, something happening there. But I think that's where the future is going. A lot of co-productions, because Canadian content is still important. But I think what makes it attractive for investors is scalability, and really understanding that exponential revenue growth that happens when you can tap into a market across the world.
Take us behind the scenes a little bit. If we're talking about the Film Fest setting, how much actual deal making, how much actual business is getting done behind the scenes?
A lot, a huge amount of deal making and business happening. Like I said earlier, Marketplace 2026 at TIFF is going to be huge. And they're already scaling to that. And I think that for investors, it is like premieres and TIFF, they don't directly affect stock prices, but they are definitely an indication to investors about where Netflix's stock is going to go, Apple, Amazon. So there are tons of deals happening right now. This is where Netflix, Amazon, Apple, they come to scout talent. Disney is looking to Disney and say Warner Brothers, they aren't going to do their Marvel and those sorts of premieres here. But what they're doing is they're picking up, or they're premiering smaller projects that'll really up their cultural cachet and, you know, make a splash before they go into holiday season. So if they make a good splash, then their holiday season is going to be really good. And all of these things go back to stock price.
Which is what we're all here for.
Right.
If it's a success at TIFF, if somebody brings a product to TIFF and is successful at TIFF, do they move then on to the next Film Fest? Is there, like, what comes next? Does it just go straight to production, or how does that work?
No, well, it's finished production there. So, you know, we love in the film world, we love doing the whole gamut of film festivals.
More eyeballs, the better.
More eyeballs, the better. And the more awards you can garner, the better for your film and eventually for your streamer or producer behind it.
Yeah, give everyone social media, give everyone the website. If they want more information, where would they find it?
Sure, I'm at Upeka, and it's also at Goddess on the Grind Productions. So come follow us, and that's where you'll find me.
The co-founder and executive producer at Goddess on the Grind Productions. It was such a pleasure. I'm shocked it's taken this long to actually do something along these lines, but thanks for doing it.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me. It probably just warranted me being on the Trailer Park Boys to actually warrant coming on here.
I was leaving it up to her, but she's joining the 13th season, in fact, of Trailer Park Boys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's wild to have someone like me on Trailer Park Boys, but I think it really just speaks to how they're diversifying as well and how they're trying to reach a global audience, which I think is great. And it is indicative of our Canadian landscape. So Trailer Park Boys, season 13, Julian's
Is there a date?
Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But it's all over. They're doing their tours right now. The boys are doing their tours.
We'll keep an eye out. Raheem, you're fired. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brendan.
We fired Raheem like half an hour ago. Huh? So I don't even know why he's still here.
You all have to understand, Raheem is her bodyguard. That's why Raheem is
clearly.
here. You know, he's traveling around, making sure everything's all good.
We don't need Raheem anymore.
I want to thank Upeka there. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
So it's coming out next year, 2026, the Trailer Park Boys 13.
Good, yeah, that should be fun. We'll wait to see it. I mean, we love Trailer Park Boys around here, so that should be a fun thing there. So thank you, Upeka Jane, coming through. So thank you so much.
Trader TV Live fam.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we're doing it around here. So yeah, TIFF has been fun. There's been lots of. I saw some Sydney Sweeney action there. Adara said she saw Vince Vaughn yesterday.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn.
So yes, she did. She just says she did.
It's always the best. My favorite story for myself personally was we had an office on Bloor across from the museum, and there's a McDonald's. Our trading floor used to be across from McDonald's. So I would go in for my morning coffee, and during TIFF, I walked in, and the dude in front of me was the Lieutenant Daniels from The Wire, and I'm a big Wire fan.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know who that is, but.
I didn't say what's up or anything because I felt like this man is just getting his coffee and like chilling out. And I was kind of like, I questioned whether am I really seeing him at the McDonald's right now? But he was probably just staying at the hotel that was next door.
Yeah, you just come and get it.
That's one of the coolest things about TIFF. You get to see lots of celebrities and it's fun. But what's interesting is, as we're talking about it, you know, I said that Amazon was down. You know, Netflix is down more than Amazon today. Netflix is actually down 1.5% as the market makes another. I mean, every time we look over, you've made an all-time high in the Nasdaq and the ES. But Netflix, it's breaking down a bit. This is one that might turn into a buying opportunity. And we always talk about the 200-period moving average. How far do I have to go back? I'm going to keep going back until, my 200-period. Seriously, this is now into 2014. Yeah, there it is. October of 2023 was the last time Netflix was under the 200-period moving average, and that's what it's trending back into right now. Well, maybe not right now. You get the idea. Like it's probably not going to drop $110 today, but it lost the 50 period yesterday, and this one could be a nice little dip buy in there for sure.
We are just talking there about Netflix. We can have a quick little look at Netflix. Not doing well, man. I mean, as she was saying, content right now isn't like an asset class there. I mean, Netflix has tons of content, but they're down about 10 to 15% from their highs. So, you know, if you like the space, like the streaming wars going down, lots of stuff happening. You know, we talked about Amazon Prime and, you know, everything. Like last night's football game was on Amazon, for example, you know. Amazon's doing 80 NBA games as well.
Yeah.
So there's lots going down.
You know what stat that I heard? I don't know if this is true. Americans, you can let me know if this is true, because I use DAZN, DAZN, to watch football. But apparently, if you wanted to watch every single NFL game this year, not one package, but like every game, just to be that ability, and then subscribe to all of the things required, it would cost $630. I was like, really? Like that seems like a lot for the year. We're lucky here in Canada because DAZN is considered, like, Canada's considered international because we don't have a team. So we don't have to, like, we don't have to get, like, if the game's only on YouTube, then I can watch it on DAZN. If the game's on Amazon, I can watch it on DAZN, which is super great for us. But we just go to show. In the NFL, they'll pay whatever. You got to have those sports rights.
She was here.
We didn't say anything about Sydney Sweeney. I don't know why you're coming over here.
How come? That's maybe why. So can you do this side here? You can see how close. There you go. This
Look how close we are now.
See, look. I just go to that. Look, shoot. See, there it is. We are now 1 pump away.
You can slap him. I could throw stuff at him. Maybe not. I don't know. Why do I have a knife
about to
here?
get. Now when Randy throws something at him, you better not miss because he's gonna be so close.
Bet not miss.
I know. I remember that was wild. So. Rob's trying to get the monitors hooked up over here. He's doing a good job. Okay, good. So they're getting everything all set up. Well, not that camera view. You got to get another one over there. But okay, let's go. All right, that's that. Let's check out on the chip space, right? I mean, let's see what Intel's doing right here, 24.25, and load up. Okay, it's funny because look what the Nasdaq is doing right now, just accelerating north side. You know, and then this is what Intel's doing, down 1.5%. Give me a break.
Oracle caught a bid, maybe, maybe not much.
AMD caught a bid. We were talking earlier that AMD was down, not anymore. Down to 155, now 159. Good job there on AMD as it's made its way back upside as well. NVIDIA right here. Looks like AMD might be the winner right now. You know, I've been buying some Marvell on dips. I've been loving Marvell. You guys know that. I don't need to tell you that. Now up 1% as Marvell tries to make some back from its missed earnings report. Whoops, all the way to the downside. We bought before earnings and after earnings. So average price getting back to where we need to be at least. Still not a great move. Back over to content is king. Disney, there, a quick little look. 116 and change, not great for Disney. I thought we were topping out at, 124, 125. Underneath the 50 period. Looking a little southbound action there. And speak about southbound, open door. Yeah, I mean, 9 held again. What? 880? Isn't that the level that we zoomed out on? No, it wasn't here.
Apple.
Oh, Apple. An Apple executive leaving Apple.
Another one.
That's nothing. Who cares? It was OpenAI. Open door. Let me just see what was going on there because 880. Yeah. Oh no, guys. This is that level that we were talking about. 880. Oh, well, it did come back in, I guess, and now bounced up off of that. Or did we talk about that? What time was that at? 110. No, so it didn't come. So it only came right back to the 890. That's 2 o'clock. No, so it would have been after that. Okay, so we're not back into that level yet. All right, so 880 is where we're looking for open door, not hitting yet. So my bad on that one there. Okay, so what's up to everybody there? Eerie Pages, Bob the Dog, everybody that's in the chat. 420 Bud Monster. I see Neil's talking to you, so that's good.
How do you send a gift again?
I think you just have to gift it at the person.
I tried.
Oh, I think that's right how you did it. All right, let's go over. Dara's got news, I guess, on Apple here.
Oh, I did it right.
Okay, keep an eye here on Apple and OpenAI, or sorry, not OpenAI, Open Door. We have news on both here. Apple on watch. Apparently, a search and AI executive for the company by the name of Robbie Walker is leaving. So Bloomberg reporting that Apple search and AI executive Robbie Walker is leaving the company. Now, Open is also on watch. We do have Eric Jackson, who, of course, galvanized all of these retail shareholders and is credited with starting that Open Door rally. He apparently went on Fox Business and said that Drake's team likes what he's doing and likes the stock. Now, in case you're unaware, Eric Jackson has been standing outside of Drake's house trying to encourage Drake to buy Open Door for quite some time now. These comments he's making on Fox Business are not new. He actually made these comments on X this morning, but either way, Eric Jackson continuing to say that Drake is apparently actually interested in what Open Door is doing or what Eric Jackson is trying to do with Open Door. Back to you.
Well, he should have bought earlier. Like, Drake, man. Why you're interested in what he's doing? Like $6 later? If Drake had just bought shares, Drizzy would be rolling in it right now. That's just not that smart. Now, obviously, had Eric Jackson actually maybe gone to where he was because Drake was on tour literally in Europe when he was standing in front of the dude's house and everybody knew it. I still say he should have done it like he should have gone up to him at the concert and been like, "Yo, bro, you got to buy this at $3." That's where it was. Right? It was at $3 when he asked him to buy it. I think this is a squeeze play that could still happen. And just out of my own curiosity, I want to see what that Fibonacci is. Was that another fib level? It was, right?
I don't know, 61.8? I don't know.
No, the 880. It is another, it's another Fibonacci level that it bounced off of, and now it's holding the 920 again. So maybe 920 to 960. The problem is, if I click this to save it, there's something in my settings, which only the 50% is actually showing up when I do it, but it's in my settings. I don't use them, that's the problem. But the 920 on Open Door looks like it's holding pretty decently. I might take a shot. If it bounces down, if it comes down and tries to bounce off 920 again, I'll take a scalp trade.
All right, each year over 3.8 million concussions are reported in the United States, yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE listed OGEN, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting by clicking on our link in description or scanning that QR code to find out more information about Oragenics. A very, very important thing, and not just for football, obviously, as that's just started, but it's always important for anybody, any sport, anywhere, period, car accidents, anything. I think that's something that's going to be really important moving forward. And it's just like the rapid access, something that's important there, that they have a, I don't know if it's a patent, but that's what they're talking about. Oragenics, go check them out. And get some more information on that. All right, BMNR, there's some people talking about the way that this, some of the crypto names have been moving around here today. Of course, the Treasury, Bitmine. They took a position in QMM, I think it was, for very, very little, or CWD, or any
dollar. It was one of them for $1.46.
Yeah, unbelievable. And now today that's up again. As we looked at it, Joe did a little smiley face there on Ethereum, so it's nice to see that's working out today. I think it was up nearly 2% when we saw it in the midday, and Ethereum now, no, more than that, so 4.5% right now goes ETH, and it's near its day's high right now for Ethereum. So a great bottom there. And it's funny because we had written down right here that we wanted IBIT long at 65. So let me just see how that would have worked out here today. IBIT long at 65. I mean, we went to 65.30, but at least we kind of got the gist of this trade going long on IBIT. So that was a good trade there for anybody that wound up having that. Let's just check back in on Gemini real quick to see what's going on here. Again, a well thought of IPO came to market today. We had to wait forever, it seemed like. It didn't open up until 1:30 or so there for Gemini. So yeah, we can just read a little bit of notes on what they were doing here today. Came with big expectations there. This is Gemini Space Station, priced their IPO at $28, above the expected range of 24 to 26, 3.3 billion or so. The offering was capped at 425 million. That's another thing maybe that we can find out, like once a certain number gets hit, maybe that's when we know it's going to open up. Underwriters such as Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, all supporting the name Morgan Stanley as well. 30-day, it said 425 million offering, selling 15 million shares. 30-day option to sell an additional 800,000 shares. So 30% of these shares were reserved for retail traders. So if you're part of the Robinhood program that can get you shares, and you would have got them at $28 right there, which was good. Other names that you could have traded this on pre-IPO include SOFI, Webull, Futu, and Mumu. All had these for retail clients. Winklevoss, 2014 crypto exchange, 21 billion in assets. So there's a lot of coinage being held on their exchange. My whole thing is, though, out of that 21 billion, I wonder how much of that is the Winklevosses themselves, to be honest with you. Because I know that they were huge in Bitcoin, like one of the leaders in Bitcoin holdings, those twins. So again, 21 billion in assets, probably significant amount of those are those guys and their friends from earlier on. Nasdaq themselves invested 50 million. I'm doing Sharif's job over here.
Which makes perfect sense why it's the only IPO recently that's on the Nasdaq. Well, one of them, anyways.
Yeah, today's IPO, I think, what, 3 of them were on the Nasdaq?
Three of the four were in New York.
And then, just quickly, because...
Oh, no, VIA was the only New York. Sorry, it was all Nasdaq, and then VIA was New York.
Yeah, FOFO here, Fang Shang Hang.
Wow, what was that?
International. Now open, just opened right now, again. So this one's halted, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I got a bad feeling about that
just
one.
all the way up here. I don't know, 15, 16 halts on this name today. Very hard to trade. You know, you want to look here. This is the level 1 price. So this is where there's an actual block of shares. So 1310 by 1363. So 60 cents worth of risk. Like if you're trading this with 20 shares, 100 shares, maybe that's fine. But hard to put any kind of real size in it, which is why Neil and I think the rest of the crew favors, you know, these bigger, well-known IPOs. But this is the winner of them all today, FOFO. So. Oh man, FOFO, no mofo on this one, as it just goes whoosh all the way to the upside now 3 times its IPO price, right? Opening up at 5 and change and kicking it out to 14. So again, congratulations to anybody that somehow hit that. So good on you. And then Coinbase, I wanted to check out what Coinbase and Bullish were doing. We saw Bullish because it's a very, very similar experience to what we had on GEMINI. Not the same experience. I mean, Bullish rocketed the first day, but the downside move happened on the daily for Bullish immediately the second day, and it even closed at the lows. Bullish opened at 90, went to 120 or so, then closes that day at 71, and it looks like there's the opening right there. There's 1 o'clock. There's the open for GEMINI. Bullish was like, okay, if they like that, they must like us. No, they don't. And then all the way back down into $50 again. It looks like this is tomorrow's trade today, honestly. What about a bearish bullish break of $49? That's been the bottom there for Bullish. I'm looking at that kind of a trade to happen next week. And I would say faux show. You were right, City Boy. Faux show, get out if you're long.
I think that's going to be a big time rug. Like, if you think these ones are rugs, like, what is that going to do when it comes back down? Some Hong Kong company with no liquidity?
What about Webull? We didn't check out Webull today.
But Bull's been
$13.
No, that's not the one to look at. You want to, if you're looking at the fintech space today, it's not Bull, it's not Robinhood, it is SOFI. SOFI is so fly. It just, the only thing it hasn't done is take out the high. That's the only thing left to happen here. I know we've been talking a lot about this one this week, but my thought is, okay, I hit zoom out, not in. I swear I did. My thought is this is a very good looking consolidation on SoFi. So I get it. It didn't touch support today. I think it was 25.50 that we liked. Didn't get anywhere close. And it doesn't break out the high either. But this is a consolidation at the high end of the range. This is a trend up, which is unbroken. Whoops. I have it up. Whoa. Okay, that's a little slow. There's a trend up since the dip in late August. And there's your nice trend into a top break. Seems to me like SoFi, it's just waiting a week or so, and then we'll get this $27 breakout on SoFi. We'll be there for it. It's a non-zero chance that it could do it today. I mean, it's 50 cents away, so it's actually possible. There's still 40 minutes till imbalances. I don't think it's going to happen. It's Friday afternoons. I'm not usually that big of a fan of big breakout trades, but that's too good of a level not to at least take it. And shout out to everyone in the chat mentioning HIMS and putting in the $sign. That's what I like to see. We love it when you use the $sign so I can look at it, and there is HIMS on the list. Tesla, FOFO, really? FOFO, huh? Well, we went over FOFO, but we can talk about HIMS as well. I see Rocket Labs, huh? RKLB? All right.
RKLB,
yeah, that's number 4 on the list. That's actually number 3 on the list. We can have a look at that after HIMS. So HIMS up 7.5 points. This has been the 200 period matters some. That 41 level matters more. Look at how clean this was. It broke the trend, and when it broke the trend, it bounced clean off support. And the top of that, sometimes I like to look at the prior trend line as potential resistance. That's not till $60. I think this has room to 60 probably next week on HIMS. Anything past that, I would look for a consolidation or something. You can see the resistance up here in the mid-60s anyways, but HIMS on a nice tear. I love it when it respects those technicals. And RKLB, we haven't looked at in a long time. This is another one flying. Are we back to the traditional squeeze names going? Is that what's happening? Like all these other crazy ones slow down a bit, Open Door slows down, and these other ones decide they get to go. There is your 52-week high break for Rocket Labs. It's too many of these. What's the chase? 53.5 is the prior high. This is what it did when it broke 53.5. This is program buying. Nothing out of control. Not a single, maybe a couple of crazy moves in here, but that's not even that bad. That's like $1 that move in here. Yeah, this is very, very much program style buying here on Rocket Labs through the 52-week high. This is such a bull market right now. It's unreal. Unless you are literally Amazon and Netflix. If you're supposed to be running, you're running. Well, that's not true. Intel's not doing anything today. Oh no, everything's crashing.
What was
my chart? What happened to my chart? No, they don't want me to look. They don't want me to look at the chat anymore. Apparently.
396. I think I'm going to take this Tesla here, breaking through 396. I mean, I just think it's what is the high? 396.50. I'm okay with this. That's 396 flat. I'm okay taking this. Let's just take a break here of 396. We'll cross up like 15 cents. I don't know if it breaks it. It breaks it. We'll wait to find out. We're going to go for that. So a Tesla respecting the 200 period moving average. You know, it hasn't crossed it at all today. I mean, if it did, it was right there and, you know, almost a moot point. But, you know, if we do break that, that's, what is that right there? That's 393, $3. Yeah, let me judge what we're I always look for the stop before the end, really. I mean, first we got to find the trade, and if I like 396 break there, then we got to think about where do we stop out if it's a failed break, right? Because earlier this morning, this failed, actually, this break. This went against me maybe 60 or 70 cents. But we already had our outs down here. We talked about where we were going to get it. It was a 200 period break. It was 369.50. Or so on that. And this is why sometimes you can get spanked, because like if it doesn't go and it just comes right back in all the way, then you lose like your 250 or whatever it is, or yeah, I guess so, $250, yeah, on this one right away, and you don't get a chance to get anything out, right? So that's why I'm always very, very careful to get some out when it starts to go, like that's 375 right there. So that's like the 1-to-1 area. And then as we start to extend out, we got it going a little bit more. So I would say for this one, if we have 396 break, I'm not sure it gets to 400. So 399, like 398.50, 250 worth of room. So yeah, I think back into here, maybe the 50 period moving average of 394. So a reasonable stop out if we indeed break and fake. We'll deal with that when that does wind up happening. But there goes Tesla. Yesterday's was, this was it, right? Figure Technologies was yesterday, FIGR. Did not take this IPO yesterday, and today it's up slightly. I don't know.
That's deceiving.
Yeah, let me just see what that is doing.
That's a little deceiving.
So there's Figure yesterday, came in at around 35 to 36 bucks. Closes yesterday, yeah, I mean, at 5:30 it was $30, so down 20%. Gets all the way back up into the close, then whooshes back down. So $31 or so. So yesterday's IPO opens at 35, closes at 31 or so. But look what happened today. This is the reason why I think we should look at it. Came right back, right into yesterday's support or resistance area where people were dumping some supply. So that's a good area for the next time. 36 or change. So what you can do is, you know, if your charts allow you, you can start to put in some trigger spots up here. Like the next time it gets up here, send me a note, because like 36.50 is definitely an area that I think you'd want to short and give it to 37, which is that top there, and then hopefully be well rewarded with much more than 50 to 70 cents worth of a win right now for Figure Technologies. Or so that would be...
Yeah, Figure Technology.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if we talked about GEMINI yet. Just
it's
now.
Right. It's so close to breaking the low. So close.
That's what I was going to do. $33. That's probably a short.
Well, the lows 37.29 or 80. Actually, it's 80. It says 80. Looks like, yeah, it's 32.80. But that looks like a breakdown. You know, a try at a flat bottom break here for myself. We have locates here at Real Trading on Gemini, so we can short the stock. I understand not everybody can short IPOs, but if you're trading with Real Trading, there are available shares. You just have to pay for the ability to get locates on them. So you can go into Metro, and we can go into Metro and do that. Yeah, I like a shot at this breakdown. I don't know what the liquidity is going to be like. Just to give you an idea, when it broke 37, the fills were 36.30. That's 70 pennies worth of slippage. There's 0% chance I'm crossing that far down on a break at the low of the day. No way. So I might cross like 20 pennies. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, then you get what you can get, and you
don't get too upset.
You don't get too. That's the line. You don't get too upset. Just steal a line from Sharif, as I sometimes do. So I'm going to throw a stop in there. Just cross like 20 pennies down from the low. And as I said, I'll get whatever I get, and we'll see if it ends up holding on. But the market is slightly pulling back here, just to quickly show you. This is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq pulling off another all-time high. And a slight little dip, but they've been buying all the dips so far. So no real, like, it's not breaking trend or anything. They're just kind of pulling back from the high.
Highs.
Apple's so strong. Why can't Amazon be doing that? That's the real question. That's the real question, Amazon. Apple's breaking highs, Tesla's
I was gonna go long on
Apple. The chips
Apple.
aren't going, by the way.
So Tesla's gonna go. I'm also gonna take Apple right here. Let's go. FDA approves green light hypertension on the Apple Watch. The FDA likes the technology there. They like it. I like it. Here we go, man. We are in a new position. In the first position for me here in the PM show. All right. Well, we'll take out. We always take out 10%. So let's do that here at 50s if we can do that. You know, we're long rate. Oh, we're long at 15s. Okay. So we actually. I remember I was saying I was going to cross at 15 cents. Well, that's exactly where the order ran me to. So now we're into this. I was going to get, okay, so the top was 50. I'm sitting there exactly at 50 to see if we could take out 10%. This is what I do on Tesla, man. I mean, it runs so much that it could get scary. So I'm going to take a little bit out right now, and yeah, there it is. So yes, sir. So we'll spend a little bit of money for that right now, and then we'll take out another piece, like another 10% or so, if we can get up into the 90s near 3. Actually, I wound up taking out a quarter there, actually, at 396. I have a different amount of shares than I thought. So I took out a quarter there. I actually have a little bit less. So took out a quarter there at 396.50. We'll wait to do 10% more at this point, upside at 397, and then we'll wait to see what happens at 4 bills. And look back at Apple. I mean, Apple's kind of the same story where they pulled back in a little bit and supported some of these lows. That's 233. So now let's see if it wants to go. I mean, if the market can go back to the upside, why can't Apple break those highs as well? So we're into Tesla right now. We got out of a quarter. Looks like we're lucky to do that. And now we'll wait to see where we're going to stop out at. Did not break high with much vigor there. So we'll sit in it and just wait a little bit. Not willing to give up too much on the way back. Just for an example here, I have about 10% of what I had on this trade. So the afternoon hasn't been as fruitful with the huge moves, like, you know. But we'll wait to see.
Like I took the break, but it immediately bought back up. At 32.32 was the low. I ended up getting
a failed break.
I got 70s in, and I got like 40s out. And then it immediately started buying back up. The velocity just wasn't there in a break. And I kind of learned, like it was 2 days ago, Klarna broke the low of the day. And I took the short break, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll give it a wider stop and just give it a chance. And then it just kept on holding the bid. I'm not going to do it this time. And there's a boatload of size on some of these bids down here. 32's got a huge bid. Even now, like, I'd just be getting the same price. So it went like 25 cents initially, but I just jumped out of it. At the end of the day, low of the day breakdowns, it should be falling all over itself. Like when it broke this low, it fell all over itself and it never looked back. Like the 36 low here, like that was instantly at 35 and never really threatened you on the way down. So I just want to go in and out. It might work better than that. If you're holding on to it and giving it to 33 or to the prior bar, that would be 33, like 33.15. Like you'd still be good. I have a quick trigger finger after the last time, and open doors at a pretty key level as well. Now I kind of just want to get back in. There's a monster order that just flashed at 28, the issue price. I actually saw it on the book. I don't know why. That's how thin it is. I could see 28s on the book. That's silly. That's silly. That's how thin the stock is. At one of the gateways, the maximum, like 10 levels down, which you shouldn't be able to. Well, it's on Klarna still, or I can show you what that. Like I was actually able to see at 28 was popping up on I think it was Nasdaq or NYB. That was like 500,000 shares. That's the IPO issue price. Someone's already bidding that price. Kind of boring. That breakdown to me should have, like when this broke 36, like look at that.
You didn't give it much. I mean, because you talked about Klarna, right? I mean, it's
no, but Klarna. If you remember Klarna yesterday,
look, it's starting to pop back now.
Was it yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago.
It was Tuesday.
Right? That was Tuesday.
Yeah, because yesterday we didn't. Oh no. Tuesday, was it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Anyway, it might. I think it was. Well, either way, there was a. No, it would have been 2 days ago. It has to be. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Like this is right here.
10th.
On the first day, this was the break on Klarna, and there was like a little tiny wick. It goes like 50 pennies, and then look at this next candle. It then ran like $1.50 to the upside, and I had that break. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to give anything back on it. So if it doesn't work right away, get out, because that was actually the best or the second best long on Klarna was the failed break of the low in the afternoon, right there. Well, I just kind of looked at that and said, you know what, not going to risk it. Open doors also at that 920 level. This is that Fibonacci level from here. Hey, see that it doesn't save my fibs when I draw them and hit save, like my trend lines. I'll put a ticket in for that. That'd be useful. So it's trying to bounce. Open's trying to bounce off that the 50% retracement level, which is held several times. This is finally the second test of it, so I'm going to see if I can't get something mid-20s, put the stop underneath. I don't usually use Fibonacci's, but this was a level anyways for support and resistance on open door. This is the afternoon low at about 1 o'clock. It bounced off of 920. It's been a down day on open. You just had to pick your spots to go long.
I mean, talk about picking your spots. We had written down earlier the TQQs. I mean, this is the trade that we had really early on in the day when we wrote down 95.50 as a buy spot for this, right? And you can clearly see right now that 95.50 is well absorbed. You can go find all of these right here on Instagram. If you go find me at TraderTV Sean, you'll see exactly what's up. And this is what I'm trying to do every day. And there it is, 4 stocks to watch today. So if you just click on this, you're going to see the levels that we talked about. Open break, you know, that $10, it never broke 11. So we're okay with that one. There's Tesla, 372 long break. I mean, Tesla's at 396 right now. So we had that trade. And there's the TQQs, 95.50 long off of yesterday's level. So I'll put this in the chat and then you guys can see. And then the other trade idea that I had today was IBIT, $65 long. It's at 66.50 right now. So those are all working out for sure. So we want to shout out to Instagram and anybody that's following. Oh, yeah, I'll put that in the chat. So there's my 95.50 right there on TQQs. And there it goes. Huge fire, man, 97.40. Good level there. We got stopped out. So we took some out there when it came back through 96. And then once it reached the day's high at that time, we got out. That was 96.12. And then it just took off against us. Well, not against us, but against my out there. Now it's just upside for the TQQs here. And the rest is history. Okay, the only position I have on right now is Tesla. I'm buying a dip at 95 if it can get into there. I mean, you could also trade off the 21 period. I was going to use this 50 period right here, break of 94.50. So if we break 94.50 downside, we're going to get out of it, right? So we have a first out there of a quarter for roughly, it was only 35 cents, but whatever, we still took it. That's the highest it was been on the break, so far so good there. And it's been absorbing this 21 period, that's 95.50. I was waiting a little bit lower into this mess, so we can get another long here at 395 and change. We'll see if that wants to participate for us. So that's what I'm going to be looking for.
FOFO's halted again.
Oh, FOFO's halted, okay.
So FOFO halted down a couple times and is now halted up. So FOFO, which is the best moving IPO today, I would venture to say it's probably the most dangerous one to trade, but it is the best moving, technically speaking. Halted up at 11.89. The tap is $12. So theoretical auction price is basically dead on. It's not really going to open to anything too crazy, but it cannot stay open for more than a couple of minutes before going into, as you can see, going into another halt. I think it was the right call on Gemini. It just, you know, like that breakdown through the low of the day barely went anywhere, so we jumped out of it relatively quickly, and then it already put in a pretty decent bounce. So if you were looking long off of that low, probably a good decision, although it's not going that crazy. I'm just looking over at, have a look at some of the chip names. Like NVIDIA, look at NVIDIA. No wonder we can't hold the highs. It's hard to hold the highs when NVIDIA is doing nothing. I'm talking about the Nasdaq, by the way, for everybody out there. Like, you see so many things blasting, like Tesla today and Apple today, but if NVIDIA doesn't want to be part of the party, I'm going to guess Broadcom is also not helping us today. Yeah, Broadcom's all the way back into VWAP. The chips are not part of this rally today, unfortunately. It's just been, and then Oracle, I mean, this doesn't really matter to the Nasdaq as much, but Oracle down another 5% and trending lower near the low of the day.
What?
Yeah, they're all sitting it out. AMD, actually AMD's up 1%. Oh yeah, AMD had that crazy rally, 1.7. Oh, the stock that had the crazy rally was, what was the news on Palantir?
I don't know what the news on Palantir was.
Yeah, was it there here? What was the story? I couldn't find anything on Palantir because, like, look right here at when it broke the high of the day on Palantir. Does that look normal? Like, that looks like something happened here on PLTR and then trending higher, 4% up. So there is some strength. It's really just not everywhere. The chips are just taking a bit of a break, and we can probably, I think it's like an AI thing. It's an AI thing, and you get to blame Oracle for it, is my guess. But open off that, I'll call it the 920 support, but you can also call it that 50% Fibonacci retracement because it also seems to be holding. I want to play it into the volume weighted average price. And that's about it. If SOXL is up, there's a few names that are strong. I know Micron's pretty strong, but there's no way it could hold up SOXL by itself.
I don't think so.
Let's go to Adara.
The only story I'm seeing here on Palantir has to do with, I guess, the military. Babcock and Palantir announcing earlier today, apparently, that they've entered a partnership to revolutionize the warship production. Now, apparently, this was released by Babcock. I'm not seeing that Palantir had a press release on it. And the only article I'm seeing here is that Naval News reported this. So looks like Palantir had some kind of deal earlier today. Back to you. Okay.
You could make, there's a decent technical argument to be made. It could just be one of those, hey, when Palantir gets shorted, I'm assuming, at least for a big cap tech name, it probably has one of the larger short floats. You don't see huge short floats, but if it's over 2% on a big cap name, that's actually pretty decent size. And I think Palantir is over 2%. So it just breaks a level like this and gets a little rally. That's 68.4. Yeah, so it picked up volume when it broke out the top on a minor story. Sometimes Palantir doesn't need much. It's not like Tesla had a story. Tesla didn't have a big story today. Sometimes these types of stocks don't need a huge story. They just make a good technical break, and Palantir seems like it did one and is riding higher. So I think that's it's resumed its Palantiring, for lack of a better term. I don't know the word I want to use for when Palantir. It's like when it goes meme crazy. That's
meme crazy. I've coined that.
Yeah, so it had a meme crazy move today, and I think it's just purely technical. There's lots of people that love shorting that stock, I guess. Maybe Andrew Luff wants to get back in. Andrew, take your shot.
Yeah, maybe he will. I mean, like you said, he's probably, hopefully they've already.
Well, if he thinks it's overvalued, then he must still think it's overvalued.
All right, we are about to overvalue our position here on Tesla and get out. So, I mean, here it comes in right at that 50-period moving average. So we tried a shot on this one, but the move is down now. I mean, the market is down. So, like I said, we took 10% of the shares that we took earlier. I don't know how else to explain that, but that's what we did. So we take a small hit, and we'll give back 10% of what we made. So sucks, but you know, we tried it. There it goes, $94. I mean, the market just kept on coming back in right here, and Tesla could not hold that top. So we'll see. If you want to try it again, maybe 393, something like that. But we have to be somewhat disciplined here and make sure that we take the right amount of profit where the profit lies and try to do the best with the least. So Tesla right there just kept on going down. So we'll slap a fail and we'll do the flush down the toilet. I mean, at least explain like that we only had 10% of the shares, right? And we just, all we did there was add back what we bought there. So it wasn't, or what we sold there. So it was a little bit of profit, then lost that at the end, obviously, and gave back 10% of the Tesla profits there today, not 10% of our net. So, all right, a lot of the net comes today from Gemini. So you could just go over here and have a quick look. We won't be red on any names today. We traded, okay, the futures, Tesla, and Gemini. That's it. We only traded the TQs, Tesla, and Gemini. So here goes Gemini right here, breaking through 32.25. That's the day's low. We can see if there's any sort of action there. It's really respected the 50 period now that we have 50 minutes of data on here, so we could watch out for that. That level is 33 and a core, 33.50 right now. Temporary bottom, 32 and change. So we'll see if that can hold. I'm going to say no. Remember, we do have the imbalances coming in, and then you have Adair and I on the recap show, and that should be a lot of fun. And then we'll have Steve Tileman, I believe, coming from Trade the Pool. That should be exciting. And right now, nothing happening now on the imbalance locators. So, oops. There it is. IONQ actually right now. My bad. Does have a buy.
That had news. That's big.
And it has a buy on it. So yeah,
That's
up 17% with a bid. So maybe this runs a little bit into the close.
I've never seen IONQ with an imbalance before.
Yeah, and it's all New York
big?
right now.
3?
Yeah, 2.5.
It's done 58 million. That's a good 5% plus of the volume. Well, it's probably exactly 5% of the day's volume. It's not, INQ's not moving right now, but what would be really cool is if that were to grow and this would take out that top. This is 52-week highs for INQ. Maybe it's probably all-time highs.
Must be close.
Yeah, you know what? No, of course it's all-time high. What am I talking? Of course it's an all-time high for INQ. This was not like, for some of the names you've got to think back. Like, was it like a 2020 thing? No, but this was not one of those back in the day. So IONQ, keep an eye on that imbalance. You never know what's going to be big. I'm playing VWAP to VWAP on Open Door. Oh, here's the cool thing we forgot about Open Door. Today and on Monday, this is going to be SSR. The uptick rule is in effect on Open Door because it's down over 10% today. All that means, for anyone that's new to this, is let's say I have Open Door right here. If you wanted to short the stock and sell to the bid, if you want to short at this price, 938, and hit the bid to enter a short position, the last print has to be green. So if it's cascading down, you can't hit the bid to go short. As it's cascading down, only longs can hit the bid to go down, which it tells you a little something about who is selling to the bid when that happens. And sometimes you get better bounce plays on stocks, especially squeeze names like Open Door. But this 920 just went to 940 and might have already called it kaputs at the first sign of resistance. Well, thank you very much, Open Door. That means I'm going to get some more out into that 940. If that scalp trade's only good, or this is the second time it did this, because when it bounced off this before, stopped out at 50, bounced here, got to 42, now it gets to 40 even. So it's not really giving you more than that. Adara?
Keep an eye here on DraftKings and Penn. We have news that the Attorney General of Massachusetts is suing online prediction market Kalshi for illegal and unsafe sports wagering operations. Now, obviously, this could be good for traditional betting companies like DraftKings who work in the sports space if this competition is being sued. So again, DKNG, PENN on watch as the Attorney General of Massachusetts sues Kalshi for sports betting specifically. Back to you.
And what was cool about Kalshi, like we were looking at who would be added to the S&P 500. Yep.
They had Tesla's expected deliveries on there.
Yeah, like they've got everything on there. It's pretty cool stuff. Now I don't remember offhand. Just very quick, I just took the break even out on the way back on open. It doesn't seem like it wants to go, like this 920 level has really only been good for 20 to 30 cents. Oddly enough, the 980 was a better long on the open. Like that gave you like a 50 penny move. This level is giving you 20 to 25 a couple of times too. So I'm out. It doesn't seem like it has the juice either. I think it was, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head without pulling it up. I believe it was MicroStrategy was like 5th in terms of getting added to the S&P 500 next. What were the other ones? I'll just have to go to the website. Kalshi.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good one. I do.
What companies will be added to the S&P 500? This shouldn't take long. Now, if their site crashes on me, wouldn't that be embarrassing?
Their site?
Here it is. I thought, where's MicroStrategy? Oh, there it is. So Robinhood already happened. But this is not next. This is on the year, right? So Robinhood, that already happened. Carvana, 40%. Ares Management, 30%. Cheniere, 30%. Viva Systems, I don't know them, 28%. Strategies at 19%. And Flutter down at 17%. So it looks like Carvana is the favorite now to be the next ad. That could happen. There should at least a couple big size deals that are closing before the end of the year. The company's getting bought out. They're going to leave the index because they won't exist anymore as a listed company. And then you'll probably see Carvana. It was pretty accurate last time. I'm pretty sure the 2 of the 3 that got in were the top of this list. So Carvana, if you're betting to look to get that catalyst of addition to the S&P 500, not to say that automatically a stock goes up because of it, Carvana is at the top of that list. And look at it bounce off the 50-period moving average like an absolute charm. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Bounce off that 50.
All right, with Dow Jones making new all-time highs, we do have a new leader right here. So these are the top performing stocks in the Dow Jones year to date. So Goldman Sachs now, congratulations. Right there, just up a small 37% year to date and adding another 3 or 4% to it. This is before today, up another 3 or 4% today. So there that goes. NVIDIA, second place. This is why I invested. I mean, I picked the Dow. I picked the diamonds at the earlier this year as a play that I was, sort of looking forward to investing in. And so I've been buying the Dow Jones a little bit there. JP Morgan Chase, second place there with 27%. Boeing, 3M, J&J. Like, these are all quite nice returns, man. We're only in now, obviously, the 9th month. So for 1 year returns, I mean, these are pretty great. And these are all major companies, obviously, in the Dow Jones. So as we look that way, even if you said 8%, Coca-Cola, Visa, Home Depot, and some of these even are dividend payers, right? And so you're going to get a little bit, add 1 or 2% to some of these returns, dividend based. And I know there's a different taxing and all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to go to the bottom right now, you've got UNH.
No surprise there.
I don't own any of that, thankfully, but I do own some Salesforce, and that's down 26% year to date as well. And then Merck down 14, and then there's Apple. So Apple still, this is why I bought Apple down there. You know, it has
Amazon's down there too.
Yeah, there's Amazon. Yeah, still up at least. But this Apple down 8%. Amazon, hard to see. Up 5%.
I can be looking at your screen
on the year. Yeah, you can. Up 5%. Disney 5%. McDonald's. So there's a lot of different names in here. But if you're going to look at the Dow 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names. 7 or 8 names red on the year. 23 of them green. And then they have extreme overbought scales here. So they have JP Morgan Chase, obviously the bank names, based on how they normally move, they are very
Boeing
overbought.
Oversold.
Extreme overbought as well right now is UNH.
Scroll back up. Yeah. Look at Boeing, near the top of the list in oversold. Remember Boeing in that 50 period yesterday?
So it's come down a lot, hasn't it?
It's come down pretty heavily the last 2 days, losing that 50. I think this one's it's at actually a support level right now. Well, that's not a support level. It's like a wick bottom and then a prior resistance level at 215, 216 on Boeing. It would be a dream, I suppose that's halfway pun intended, if you could get this at $200. Because Boeing's cleared out all these bad issues, and every single deal a lot of the deals that are getting cut, the U.S. is cutting with any countries for trade, or including orders for Boeing. Right, so they're just getting it rolled in. Make that commitment, and the president's gonna treat you well, and they're all doing it. So, the way I see it, we haven't really had too much bad news. I know they're not completely out of the woods yet. There's still some labor issues going on, and that could be disruptive to them getting out, actually delivering on these orders. And they are currently, I think what I was reading, it was 2 years. Like Airbus, their backlog, if you get an order, it's like 10 years. It's like 12 years at Boeing, which that should be closer, obviously, but it's not. Who else are you going to go to? There's only 2 of them. They're always going to make money. And the U.S. government's going to make sure they don't fail. That's the other thing I like about Boeing. So I'd love it to bounce here, maybe buy it next week. I'm still hoping for 200s. Because when this broke the 50 period, I threw a stink bid in front of $200. But this actually is a bit of a level here at 215. I got out of a lot of Boeing way too early on the last up move. I'm fairly certain I probably covered it in the 200 range. And I do want to get back in. I'm thinking the worst is done for them, and it can go back to being somewhat of a core holding.
All right, just making sure that we're all set up there for the closing show. Darren and I will be on the big desk, so that's what we're doing right there. Hey, what's up, hangry wife? Am I hungry? No.
You could eat a donut.
Not really. Yeah, there's donut. Yeah, but donuts don't really.
That's not going to help it doesn't help hunger at all.
No, I know.
It's the complete opposite, actually.
Yeah, so it's going to make me. No, we had that tilapia. Wasn't that good? It was on the salad there.
It was not very good.
Actually, to answer your question.
Actually, was not very good.
Angry wife. I'm pretty hungry, actually. All right, so all right, let's go back to Tesla. This is why, honestly, you can't love all your trades, right? I mean, when they work, they're great, and you'll hear me being like, wow, there it goes again. But I mean, pretty happy to follow rules again. And there it is, out at the 50-period moving average. I mean, it didn't even hold the 200, right? And this is what I'm saying about trading in the afternoon. If you're not in the right direction of the market, like right into here, I thought the market was going up, which obviously it was. And we actually, this is at 3 p.m. The market's only fallen down here the last half hour. 3 p.m. is right here. That's the day's high. So when we take in this trade, it's looking pretty good. And sure, I expected to come into the 50-period moving average. I mean, it was doing it all day, and now the kickback is real all the way back in. But we are bouncing a little bit off 24.1. So that could be a spot right there that we wind up talking about. I have a headache again, so I don't know. Maybe going into the end of the week here, maybe. I hope it's not these monitors. I have to fix those one more time. But yeah, so maybe the futures start to bounce off a little bit here, but again, heading into the close.
Cumulative, by the way. That's what my optometrist was telling me too. It's like
What?
No, it's when you have a lot of light in the monitors and essentially the effect on your eyes and how it gives you headaches. Like it's even if it's dull, like dulling it a little bit helps you, or you wear the glasses a bit more, it's still like a cumulative effect.
Right.
So like our body's still getting used to it. And for anyone that doesn't know, like we have at least 30 to 40% more screen space, which is cool, but we're also sitting the same distance. So like imagine
I'm not using the space. That's the thing. Everything's just bigger.
Yeah, it's just like imagine you got you had a 50-inch, you went to like a 70-inch in your house, and then you didn't move. Like you had the same room, and your couch is in the same spot, but you added like 40% larger TV.
Right.
Like, of course, that's going to be a different experience. That's a good idea.
Maybe my headache is from eating tilapia. Yeah, maybe you're right.
No, the tilapia, it wasn't even that. Like, the pasta was really bad, bland, I think. It wasn't like it was really bad. I wasn't a huge fan of lunch. But I did have 2 donuts
What
today.
is that flux? Have I installed? Do I know you, Hangry Wife? Please respond. Like, are you my real wife here? Hangry Wife, have you installed Flux yet? I don't know.
Yeah, what happened to the UVXY volume?
The VIX? Well, yeah, look at the futures, man. I mean, they're tanking here. So
I guess it's not that much.
The VIX is starting to go, it helps with eye strain on your, yeah, maybe I will.
We
haven't really adjusted, I don't know, some sort of a Flux app, I guess. I don't know. But that's right here. It's a little bit brighter. Open door trying to go. Look at IBIT right here, 116.5. That's what I kind of wanted to look at there for Bitcoin. I mean, congratulations somebody if they bought it today around 65.30. That was a good buy there for Bitcoin because it's now up $1. So congratulations to anybody that had that range right there. VWAP right down there at 65.30, 65.40, and boom, straight there to the upside. I mean, I was calling this yesterday. It's on the sticky note today. We thought IBIT had a great chance to get back there to the upside because, there's lots of names running in crypto space and it's not just going to be Bitcoin leading the group, right? It's today we had Solana topping out at 238. The last time I checked it, now it's at 240 right now for Solana as that keeps on going higher. There was SOLT, I think people have mentioned there in the chat, something you could trade. Ethereum right now on the 7-day run of 8%, up 5 today. XRP, shout out to the Ripple XRP army. We just bought that at 280, so that's up almost 25% since when we bought that. 280.
Ripple's actually the strongest chart of them today. Like if you look at Ripple, Solana's holding sideways.
Okay.
But look at this is XRP here. If you come to my chart for a second, yeah, XRP is holding up really, really nicely. Like as the market pulls back into VWAP, I just had Solana up, and that was down there sideways action. But good look for XRP. We got the thing is we can't actually trade this one. Like we can if I went to like Bitcoin, like I would go over to IBIT. Right? Like we have an ETF to be able to trade it. You guys were mentioning Solana was SOLZ?
I don't know, was it T or something? I don't know what it was.
No, is this the one? But I don't think we have one for XRP. Is there?
There is, yeah, there are.
What's
XRP? I think.
XRP?
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, there it
is.
A million in volume. It's not that much volume. It's a million in volume, but it's pretty good. So if you're at real trading, like you trade through the ETFs, we can quote the actual spot price. You can go up a chart and quote the spot price. But if you want to trade it, it's not that you can't trade. It's just the way that it works is it's easy. If you already have buying power for the equity markets, there's almost no point to doing it. It would just add a little bit of a headache, and there would be no gain for you because you're just trading the same thing. You make the same money. It's order entry is way easier, of course, when this trades like a stock, any of the ETFs. So if you ever see us trading crypto, we're just going to trade an ETF because it's a lot easier for us. Seeing people put in, and thank you guys for putting in the chat, XXRP. This is one of my favorite things about the community. In a general sense, like people ask us options questions, I'll say I'm not an options expert. Ask Joe, ask someone in our chat. We have a few that really know what they're talking about there. And when we don't know something, we ask. You got to have the humility to ask. So XRPI, we just care about the one that does the most liquidity. That's the one I always want to find. That's why it's IBIT. That's why it's ETHA, because those do the most volume. So it's a XXRP, it seems like, is the one. So I'm going to put that in one of my watch lists. Apparently BMNR is making some moves. I don't trust these treasury plays. I understand it's worked. I get that. And there's some serious momentum to be had when they start going. BMNR finally going again. But it's had these ebbs and flows. You get a few good days out of it, but that's about it. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So this is the first. Maybe there's a couple more days of this. This is the first big up day in a while. Maybe it's got a couple more going into next week, but this hasn't really had much continuation and all lower highs. So just understand what it is that you're dealing with here. Like for myself, I would never want to invest in any of the crypto treasury plays.
Yeah, you're so into them dropping an offering or anything like
exactly.
That. So I think if you like the coin, I would trade the 2 times or the 3 times ETF if I had a trade.
Yeah, if you want more leverage, you can. This is what I don't get. There was so here was the stat. The day that strategy had its all-time peak of its value relative, like best premium versus Bitcoin. That high, what do you think it was? It was
which stock?
On the MicroStrategy. So its premium over Bitcoin peaked the day before IBIT got options. IBIT got options, and because think about it,
was able to trade that now.
Because then if you want to make a leverage play in Bitcoin, what did you need MicroStrategy for? You could just do it through options and IBIT. So that's why I don't get this, because once you get options on all of them, that's what's going to happen. So maybe these are going to be okay until then for each one of the tokens and coins that they're doing the treasury for. But if it's a Bitcoin one, I don't get it, because that's already been proven. At least my understanding, that's what the trend has shown. So I just don't get it. I like Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. I'm invested in Bitcoin. But if someone can explain to me why it still makes sense to play MicroStrategy for leverage, that I don't get. And I'll happily say that I don't understand that. I could understand it before. I don't get it now. But anyways, that's just me. I'd love to be educated on that.
Yeah, I mean, someone out there that holds MicroStrategy might be able to help.
My physio guy loved MicroStrategy. He was all over it. He probably still is, actually.
Let me see what MSTR
What up,
is
Kave?
doing. CoreWeave right now has a. CoreWeave says it'll announce additional UK investments next week. So I don't know why that's not rallying the stock a little bit more than what it is right now, but CoreWeave right here trying to go through 113 again. Upside for CRWV. What a day this name's had, man. We're already here today. It was already at 114. And if... Ooh, Google just lost a bid of some sort here. Lost some sort of a decision? I don't know. Is it doing anything? Right now, we just heard that in our ear. We'll find out. I mean...
2 minutes till imbalances, though.
Yeah.
IONQ still has that 2 million buy, by the way.
Okay. Generally speaking, when there's news about a stock, it should be moving a lot faster than this. So, all right, what's up?
Yeah, I looked into it, and that CoreWeave news is at least 3 minutes old on Reuters, so it could be also that it's just already, it wasn't much to the market because it's not even like breaking or anything. And it never showed up on X either.
Okay, yeah, so, but this, I just heard it again about this Google. We'll find out what the story is there, them losing a bid, some sort of a court order. Okay, so Adara has the story. Let's go find out. So just before, Google's not moving, so.
Google losing their bid to further delay the court-ordered reforms to their App Store. That's in a U.S. appeals court ruling. So I guess Google is no longer allowed, or at least they're being deemed no longer allowed to further delay their court-ordered reforms to their app store. So that's all this is here for GOOGL. Back to you.
All right, let's go over a little bit, a couple earnings plays before these imbalances because they're coming out right now. So Adobe, there's no earnings tonight. It'll be Steve Tiltman, Adara, myself. We'll be going over some stock, take some Q&A, whatever. We'll just go over whatever. There's Adobe right here, down 0.5% today. So it was pretty dramatic last night when Adobe came out with earnings, and they had beat on the top and the bottom line, and they actually guided, 11.3% growth versus 11%, so it was a little bit better. But then they sort of went whoosh right off the open, and they gave it all back, and then we were into some lows again, and right now just kind of hovering around as well there for Adobe, so flat. So it's implied move. Again, options writers will lose here, or writers will win, option buyers will lose, because the implied move was 10%. So if you wrote an option, probably didn't get exercise, and you're probably okay. All right, that's Adobe, and then the other one was RH, formerly Restoration Hardware. That had, again, something similar to Adobe yesterday, where we went all the way to the downside, though. Adobe went upside, and then it just clawed its way back. So still down 4%, and again, underneath the expected move. So today was sort of a failed Gemini day a little bit, GEMI. We do have the imbalances coming out in 10 seconds. And there it is, at the lows of the day for Gemini. So it was a good IPO, but just failed, and we did good to get out of it. Here you go, 3, 2, and 1.
Good single trade.
Right now, let's go see if there's anything moving around.
Yeah, I see Warner Brothers is a 2 million to the buy. You've got CNH, that's 1.2 million. NVIDIA 1.5, pretty small. IONQ 1.3 million is a lot, but it's smaller than what it was indicating before. So I don't love that. Pfizer 1 million. That's nothing big. Intel just under 1 million shares. Nothing crazy. Amazon's a buy, 700,000. The overall market is probably pretty small. The standout, I guess you got to say that WBD is a standout here, because the last we had heard, any deal that gets announced here would be next week, is what they were saying. So next week, there's expectations that Ellison-led bid would come up with an actual official offer. Right now, it's just chatter, right? It was chatter yesterday. It's more chatter today. And what was the size of that? 2.4 million to the buy side there for WBD, which indicates some accumulation. That makes some sense, because I did hear a lot of speculation. CNBC had some expert or some person saying they were an expert. I don't know, but they were pretty convinced that a buyout would need to, if it's cash, it would need to be over 20 to be accepted by the board. I don't know, like, that's just somebody's opinion, but it managed to hold up pretty well today going into the $20 level, and there's some buy going into it, so maybe they knew something about that. But I've seen the same thing before, and then the deal comes out 20% lower. So again, it was just some guy on CNBC. I don't even know what his name was. I just heard it on my drive home from the station.
That's fine, man.
But it's not like I wouldn't bet on it. That it's going to necessarily be higher, but it does give some credence to that buy imbalance. If that stays at 355, you might have something there.
Yeah, it might be worth looking into for sure, because of the percentage it is against.
Probably going to pair off, though.
Amazon 1 million shares. It's done 30 million today. Amazon trying to get back upside right here. It's a buy imbalance, so we could be able to see what that wants to do here after making those lows. I think Amazon right here is a buy. So I will give it Monday, Tuesday, see what it winds up doing. I hope I don't miss that buy, similarly to maybe what we did with Apple, as it did not ride the 50-period moving average. It was tried to get back into it, but Amazon actually has worked out quite well off of that kind of a play. Ideally, not ideally, but if it does come in, that would be a good level there for sure. Like if we can open up around 220 on Monday, which I don't think, there's no reason for it to do that, but if it does do that, I think that's a first area buy, and then we'll buy a little bit more if it gets into this like 210 area or so, and just watch out for that 200 period moving average, a great level to obviously look at there. All right, I got to get over to the, I'm going to come back, but I want to go make sure that I set this.
Yeah, you got to set up.
Yeah, because I've never been over there, so I don't know what's going on with the computer. It should be. But right now, Gemini, remember, it was $28, right? So there it is, down, 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 down. Right there to the downside for Gemini, and it just keeps on bleeding here into the close. So not a great day for that one. And then the name that was the best, which has now pulled back. High of 15 was FOFO. So FOFO goes all the way up
the irony.
into 15 and then back into $5 again for that name. So
the one you'd least want to actually hold as an investment for a year is the one that does the best on the first day. Although there was the other one that's pretty good.
$400?
LDO, LGN, 396. It's back to 396
back up, okay.
For Tesla, for sure. There was a question about Robinhood that I'll get to. We have a couple of minutes. Yeah, it was a simple question. Like, Robinhood, it's inevitable. It will not change this pattern in the next 7 minutes. So you now have multiple fails over 120 at an all-time high for Robinhood. This feels like it could be one of these minor pullbacks. So like the way I look at it, just let's just think maybe I tend to then be short biased until we get to a support level. So that would be 110 next week or 105. So I come in automatically short biased on stock. It doesn't mean you go short because it has to set up for a short trade. That has to happen. But I'll be short biased on Monday in Robinhood until we get to one of these key levels, 110 and 105. That was just a question that we got in the chat. But I want to shout out to Trade the Pool because everyone thought that if you wanted to grow, you had to risk more. That's how it used to be, but Trade the Pool is trying to change that. It's a new revolution in stock trading. You don't need a large deposit. Trade the Pool is built for any trader who wants to grow without putting everything on the line. Just small skin in the game, and you're trading with real capital. Here is how it works. Pay a one-time evaluation fee starting at $47, and that's your total risk. From there, you trade real shares, no CFDs, using company capital. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code you see on the screen in front of you. Mr. Singh, AEO is falling. Oh no, is there any news? Not that I'm aware of. I've had the news in my ear. Okay, let's go to Adara.
Unsure what that stock was. I do not have news on that, but I do have news on Corteva. CTVA reportedly exploring a breakup, according to Wall Street Journal. The company's valued at $50 billion, and they're exploring a breakup that could separate their seed business from their weed killer business. CTVA. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Darryl. Yeah, there's no volume spike or anything on AEO. If there's anything happening with it, then I would simply think the last time that it pressed for 2 days, it was a much bigger move. It pressed for 2 days. Hey, thank you to the Sydney Sweeney News. It pulled back. It pressed for 2 days. It pulled back. It's still in the habit of making higher lows, so that's at least still constructive. But when a stock's doing these kinds of moves, you've got to consider sometimes a pullback of 5 or 6%. It doesn't look all that bad yet for this. This is a post-earnings run anyways, right? So it's not just about the ad and the campaign and the short story. Like some of this is after earnings too, that they were pointing fundamentally to some good growth because of the ad, that they're getting some record sales there. So a good look for AEO recently, but yeah, Sharif won't be happy about that one. I know he loves it. The thing is, for anyone that does, if you don't watch the midday, it's all fun and games. But Joe and Sharif have a bet that to me doesn't make any sense because I believe AEO has to get to $26, Joe. By the end of the year, and what does he have to do? Oh, you have to buy him jeans. Okay, so then Joe has to buy Sharif a pair of American Eagle jeans.
This is such an odd bet. I'm sorry.
If this gets to 26 by the end of the year, just like a regular pair of jeans, not even special, any pair of jeans he wants. Oh, that's different because then, that's why you guys were talking about the most expensive pair of jeans you could find. Oh, that was a dumb bet by you. Why would you say I'll get you any pair of American Eagle jeans? That's just insanity. Now, okay, well, and Joe gets, you know what Joe gets if it doesn't happen? Absolutely nothing. Here's the thing. I will take any bet if my downside is 0. It doesn't matter how little I stand to win. If my downside is 0, I'm going to take it. Not doing so would be the equivalent of buying a lottery ticket and not checking it. However, you don't make a bet under which you have downside but have no upside. Unless you're just doing it to make it interesting for the show. But I wouldn't do that. Like if I bet Sean, we don't play each other this year. Green Bay doesn't play the Bills.
Lucky for you.
But I don't know about that, son. No, actually, I don't like Mika. I don't want Parsons tackling Josh Allen. But if we made a bet, I can win something, but I can lose something. I'm not going to be like, I'll paint my face if the Packers beat the Bills, but if the Bills beat the Packers, you don't have to do anything. That's the dumbest ish I've ever heard of. Like, why would you ever do that? Anyways, thank you, Nimrod. We got another super chat in here. A month ago, I met most of you in person, came with questions, left with a whole new game plan, switch brokers. Hey, good look there. I hope that's working out for you. Added options to my small caps and swings. And today you're up 50% on the new account. Huge thanks. Couldn't have done it without you. Joey, show him the video and pics I sent. So I hit the like on that. Nimrod just said, Joey, show them the video and pics I sent. Okay, so yeah, so we have 1 minute to go. So it might happen on the aftermarket show because we only have 1 minute in here. Okay, well you have
showing us. I mean, it was.
No, you got to show the viewers. Don't. The viewers. Nimrod just super chatted and said, "Show everybody the pics, my brother." I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's got loaded up.
He'll load them up there.
He's got to figure out how to use the iPhone.
You can still do it on the aftermarket show as well. Like market recap, stick around. We have less than 1 minute to go. By the way, the imbalances didn't stick around. It'd be a lot cooler if it did. WBD paired off a bunch, and IONQ is no longer there. I wanted to have, the IPO up. It was GEMINI, that's what we wanted. Okay, with 20, 30 seconds, yeah, there it is.
No, don't.
No, whoa, what?
No, he just super chatted again. Neil screwed up. What else is new? He just said, just you guys, please. Oh, man. Tax authorities are watching. Yeah, I've got similar issues, Nimrod.
Yeah, that's why you don't show that.
Yeah, so amount of money paying in taxes.
Taxes suck.
All right,
10 seconds bell.
left. You got to hit the bell. You got to hit the thing there. All right, yeah, thanks for joining us.
Closing bell brought to you by VinFast, ticker VFS. More information, scan the QR code that was there 2 seconds ago as the bell has now rung. The market is now closed, and GEMINI closes essentially at the low of the day. So other people are going to tell you that this was a successful IPO that gained 15% on day one. And anybody that actually looked at it and traded it today will tell you that for about 5 seconds, and then another 5 seconds, it was strong. And then since then, it has been a sell the entire time. So unfortunately, another IPO rugs it. If you were quick, you had some good longs. Otherwise, I think the pattern is essentially unabated for all these hyped up IPOs. You know, you got to get the issue price or it's no good. You know, that's pretty much it. But it's been a fun one this week for sure. Let's be real. Big shout out to not only our entire team, but like think about the crew. You saw Joe and Sharif, the new desks are set up, so we'll be sitting at those. They'll be sitting at the new desk, just like we have the new desk with the new screen. We managed to get the big desk up in its new spot. So that you have the empty stage, so they'll get blown out. All the big changes are working out and working out well here. So we're excited for that.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't know. I can't even, like.
Oh, the desk's not working?
No, I can't even log out. Like, I don't know what's going on their platform here. I'll just go over there.
Okay.
All right, see you.
Okay, I'll log you in.
No, it doesn't matter.
If I log in over there,
Gotcha. So yeah, big shout out to everyone. Thank you very much, Nimrod, for the super chats there. We appreciate you. There was something else we wanted to look at. I mean, Tesla did close near the high of the day, but it did not. I don't think it. Yeah, it didn't break the high of the day, but closed near the high of the day, up 7% for Tesla. The other thing that was a monster today, of course, was IONQ. That closes near the high of the day. IONQ and Rigetti, 17% for IONQ and 14% for Rigetti. The quantum space was absolutely blasting. Open Door, unfortunately, did not have a very good day. Open Door down 13%. There were a couple of good bounce spots on Open Door. Like if you took the right spots, you actually didn't lose on it. Like, you know, and that 920 ended up holding except for at the end of the day there. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. But don't go anywhere. We're gonna have Steve Talman on. Like we have him on Fridays. He's always a fantastic guest. Sean and Adair are gonna be there at the new location, the new desk with the all black behind him. So without further ado, your market recap show, Sean Adair, Steve Talman, starts about now. Ish. Maybe.
There it is. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to your market recap show. Again, I'll turn the hat around because, you know, got to be all professional like here again.
When he walked up with the glasses and the backwards hat for a second, I was like, who is that? And I told you this. I'm not going to lie. I was a little taken aback.
Yeah. Reformed gangster. Shout out to everybody here again. It's going to be a big day. I still have either a dare in my ear or something. It's my fault. I'll take it out. I don't need this in. Anyways, we do have Steve Talman joining us here today. What camera am I looking at? Oh, it's all the way up there. Yo, what's up, camera? Oh, great. Now when I look at that camera, I'm also looking directly in a spotlight. So that is absolutely great. We may need to rethink that plan there, Fabian. That's not going to work out for your boy. But welcome to the Aftermarket Show, Adara. How was your day?
My day was okay. I was a little tired.
Yeah, it's been a busy one.
Things were done. Open door was shorted, and
good.
yeah, things
Okay,
were.
as long as open door was shorted, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
I do want to
was your
acknowledge.
day?
Very good, yeah.
Happy. Well, that Tesla was awesome. Congrats.
The Tesla, thank you so much. Tesla was pretty awesome. And then we also started it off with GEMINI as well when that IPO'd.
Nice.
So we were pretty good right into there. We do want to say a big shout out to our roll call because whoever's here with us right now, we want to thank you for staying late. It's a Friday. So everybody get out of here, right? Watch us for another 20 minutes. We'll recap the market. We'll talk about some key stories. If any news hits the market at all, then we'll bring it to you live. So I think you're going to be in the right spot right now. But we want to say shout out to who's here right now. Thank you again to Nimrod right there. Thank you for the 600 shekels. That's huge. And then also another one there. He doesn't want the tax guys coming for him. But right there, Shadera is in the building. So you are right. Thank you, Sebastian, for that. Great week, says Neil Shade, Scott R. Henderson, Jacques D. Westermeyer as well. Joseph Brown, Buffalo Soldiers here. David, Cloud C, John, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. Have a great weekend to you too, Danny, Los Polos Hermanos, Kelby, Adrian. Yo, hangry wife. Hi, hangry wife. All you did was make me hungry. My wife too. Today we have a game, 6:15. We have to be there till it's 7:15 game, so it'll end around 9, and then we gotta actually eat a little later. So I'm wondering what we're gonna have. Someone suggested shawarma. You like shawarma?
I've had it like not enough times to actually comment on it. And then one time I had it, like the first time I had it, I think traumatized me because I was doing. No, I was doing debate with this girl. We were like, whatever. We went to, it was in high school, so we traveled to Kingston, Toronto, or Ontario, sorry, from Winnipeg. And this girl didn't want to debate, so she intentionally made herself sick with shawarma. And I was like, that.
Okay.
I've been traumatized. Sorry for the caveat, but yeah. Had it like once or twice. It's okay. How do you like it? I like falafel though. I just don't know.
Oh, I love falafel.
How I feel about because I've only had like shawarma with falafel for some reason.
All right, let's figure out who's making all the money right here. We'll hit this because I don't know what else to hit right now. It's Stock Blitz, but we're not doing any stocks right now. This is who made money yesterday, here at Real Trading. So we have something. This is the top 10 traders from yesterday here at Real Trading. So, I mean, great. This is all the markets this trader traded. Can you believe that? So we have a trader yesterday that traded Amsterdam, Canada, Copenhagen, LSE. These are the same options that Neil and I have as well to trade, right? Madrid, Milan, Nasdaq, New York, Paris, Stockholm. So this is all about Real Trading. Our platform has all of this. So shout out to Erie Pages. I know you're a Real Trader as well from Real Trading,
really?
Which is who
Nice.
we're with. There's Nasdaq, New York, 10, 10, 10, a bunch of 10s getting thrown up here. Someone in Canada hit 8,300, so good job there. 8,200, 666, and then someone that just traded, New York 47.5. So that is a couple of calculations there of who made what kind of money there yesterday in the broader market or in our show on Real Trading here. So, all right, let's go over to GEMI again. Just have a quick little look. Today's story, of course, GEMINI comes with their IPO, the Winklevoss twins. GEMINI Outer Space or Spaceship or something like that came to market today, and it came out at a whopping $37. It IPO'd exactly at $37.01 off of a listed price of $28. So GEMINI comes out there again. They're talking about $21 billion in assets on their exchange. So definitely one that's well respected. The Nasdaq also talking about making deals with GEMINI in order to hold some crypto over there as well. So they have the customers, and today they have a new name, new stock out there, GEMI. Well traded. I don't have here. I'll put up my trades on here so you guys can see them. I don't want to junk up too many of the charts that we're looking at right here, but this is what my day looked like on GEMINI. So relatively quick.
Oh, wow, that's scalpy. You have to be scalpy with that, I guess, yeah.
You have to be scalpy with it. Hey, I mean, that's what I do, Adara.
That is very true. That's what he does, guys.
Built different. $37 right there, up to $41 out immediately, out on the first halt. This actually only halted twice, and it was within the first 2 minutes. So first 2 minutes of it being open. First was a 10-minute halt right there at $41 or so. Then it rips up, and it opens up on the halt at $44.50. That's where we get out of about a third of our shares, which is why it was a pretty profitable trade. And then as the market just fell back in on GEMINI, we were able to get out again at $42.50, then $41. Then on the halt, right before it halted, we were offered and lucky enough to get out. Neil and I both were able to get some shares out there on that halt print. And then when it opened back up, the rest, as we say around here, is history. And then it just kept going to the downside, 38, 37.50, downside break. And then low, the low of the day came at the close. So we'll wait to see $31, $32. We'll see what Gemini does the rest of the week, meaning next week. BLSH, bullish, a very similar thing. Came out with a crypto exchange a couple weeks ago. That really rallied into the open as well when they first came to market. This is what their daily chart looks like. They actually opened up, because it's red, they opened up at 90, shot up to 118, so a good move there. And then the exact same thing happened, falling back in, and now bullish today, downside. They're near their lows as well. So the IPO market you might hear as being relatively strong, but it's in my opinion, not right now. But all the prices have been well received. They've opened up really orderly. This FOFO was one that was not very orderly, and again, a Chinese name. Halt. I think there's at least 12 or 13 halts in here, and closes the day at a decent level of $10 after IPOing there at 550. This is what it looks like here on TradingView today. We talked about some of the names. I'm actually going to refresh this. I'm not sure this is right. Oh, it is right. Okay. So a lot of red action going on here. The SPY and the Nasdaq. I know the Nasdaq. I'm going to show that in a second. I just want to regroup here. The SPY was and by the way, interfere and interrupt ASAP. People would rather hear you than me.
Oh, apparently Trump posted on Truth Social, but it's not anything that's relevant to the market. He's just talking about Missouri and an extra House seat or something. That's it.
Oh God, Ramin just sent me something. I don't know if I should look at it. Okay, so SPY there.
Too hard on Ramin.
But yeah, no, I think she might have did something on crypto there, so that was good. Is it a new post, Ramin, that we have up? Okay, it is a new post. Okay, maybe I'll play it for everybody in just a couple of seconds to show you what we're working on here. But I did want to talk about the SPY flat on the day. I just wanted to make sure that that's what it was. And the Nasdaq, I think 0.3-ish upside. Yeah, 0.44. So the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 both ticking a little bit higher. Okay, this is what okay, here we go. Hold on, pause right now. On Instagram, on our Instagram feed right now, it's what are you going to do with $10,000? So we had a little bit there. Ramin did this yesterday. How to invest in 10 grand. So if you need that idea, I'll put it in the chat. Go find it out. It's a pretty cool short, I'm sure. Thanks for all the hard work on that, Ramin. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. Go look at it and get some likes and some views on that one. The more we can watch it, maybe early it gets going and we can see about it. So thanks, Ramin. That was pretty cool. Stock heat map. I haven't even watched it, but I know she was working on it all day. So thanks for doing that. We have one that's going to go out 10,000 and one that's going to go out, what if you had 1,000? So one's going to be a little more conservative. One's going to be a little more aggressive. The 10,000 one is more conservative. The 1,000 a little more aggressive. But okay, so what led the way today? The financials. Mixed day. It looked like across the board overall. As you can see here, the dark red names are going to be the ones that were more dramatic and down 1.6%. United Rentals there, CB. But as you come in here, JP Morgan, positive, up 0.44. New all-time highs today for JP Morgan. Meant Berkshire down, Visa down, MasterCard, Goldman Sachs. We talked about that. Goldman Sachs leading the way in the Dow Jones so far this year. The Dow Jones 130, leading the way, up 38% year to date. So that's that. And if you're looking at some other sectors coming through today, basically electronic technology. I mean, NVDA and Apple, there's where Apple is, 1.76% today, as they were talking about a downgraded movement there on their supplies, but that doesn't seem to be affecting them too much. AMD up 1.86%. It's been the Micron story this week, I feel like, Adair. We are $120 at the beginning of the week or so. 157 right now. Micron saying, hold my beer. They got upgraded earlier on in the week, and it's just been straight up upside. They're Boeing today down 2%. And going a little lower here in after hours, down to 215, 216. They had a beautiful high of 240 that was met in July and also met again right here in late August. And then the last little while, we're going to the downside right now for the Boeing company. Boeing, of course. What was the news today? Do you remember what that story was?
No, they just have ongoing stuff with like their production concerns. Kelly Ortberg, who was talking, my boy Kelly, he was talking yesterday at that Morgan Stanley Laguna event. Then they also had, apparently, even as they're kind of working out the strike, they're still going to be hiring outside. So yeah, there's still, I think, some concerns, even though the strike is allegedly being worked out. I guess they're still trying to do some outside hiring there for the defense division specifically. That's all I read on it. And when I checked, the stock didn't move much on that. It was already so down on the day, Sean, that I don't think that move helped it much.
All right, what an end to the week, right? We talked about it. I thought that we were going to go out like a lion today, but or out like a lamb. We kind of went out like a lion, and we started to go all the way to the upside, and we ended the day up 0.5% on the Nasdaq in a very, very successful week. If you're going to go over to the Qs just real quickly here, this is what this daily chart looks like for the Nasdaq. It's just like all the way to the upside right now, holding off that 50-period little dump there. We haven't seen the 50-period moving average since May 1st. And now we just continue to ride high, and there it is, taking out all-time highs. What a week, right? Nice upside movement. Looks like we had one red day mixed in the middle there. Wednesday looks like it might have been a red day, but maybe not even. So nice move down. We got a little scared last Friday thinking that maybe we had pulled back a little bit, but it does not look like it. So there goes the Qs to the upside. Today's trade was led by what a banger that we had right here in Tesla, by the way. So this is what my first trade of the day looked like. That 372 buy. We did try to buy the close a little bit there at 395-ish, and then you guys saw me lose on that one. We got out at 394.50, so a little bit of a failed action there at the end of the day on Tesla, but the banger was off the open, and we only gave back 10% there. So we did take a nice play off that open, but Tesla did lead the way. The other Mag 7 stocks like Apple and Google also made new highs throughout the day, but not new highs, not new historical highs, but daily highs off of a quick move up right there for Apple, Google, and Microsoft, all to the positive side of things here today so far. So that was a good, actually Google actually ticked a little lower there at the end of the day. They got that that decision there near the end of the day. Some negative news came through on Google, so they did pull back just a little bit. And then Microsoft with some OpenAI news this AM was also a runner early, up 1.77%. This might be worthy of it. I don't know why we keep talking about Amazon at the 50-period moving average and Apple bouncing off of it. Well, we got Microsoft right here, right now. Microsoft might have had one of the best quarters to talk about out of all the Mag 7, and they seem to be languishing down here.
Yeah, because it moved, it kind of pulled an Oracle. It moved up so like crazily that I didn't really know where to go from there. I'm also seeing news here, speaking of Mag 7s, on Amazon Web Services. Apparently, the head of their startups, John Jones, has departed, reported by The Information. So shout out to John Jones, if anyone knows DC, that is Martian Manhunter, but he's also the former head of startups at Amazon Web Services. You can tell I want caffeine, Sean. Either way, again, The Information reporting that John Jones has left Amazon Web Services, where he served as head of startups.
So that's a relatively new story there?
I'm seeing it just came out, but The Information loves to repackage stories that were old and act like they're new. For what it's worth, I've never seen it before, and I will always tell you guys, if I'm seeing The Information report something is brand new that I know is old.
I just well figured it out.
So I don't know if this...
Okay, so that's good. Good experience on that. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, Oracle continued to crack lower following its amazing epic post-earnings rally that we saw on Wednesday. We saw a little bit of a pullback there yesterday on Oracle, and it actually is continuing down 5%, and actually pretty nasty right there. That high of 340, pulling back nicely yesterday, and then again today, as we figured some of these talks are OpenAI based, and if anything ever were to happen over there with OpenAI, then maybe Oracle won't be able to hit some of those numbers, but that worry coming right back in. You got a thought on that?
I was just gonna say, yeah, if you guys go on X at TTV Research, I did a whole deep dive on all of this, and as I've said, I think it is a little, I know they're basing these in RPO, I'm not denying the numbers, but the fact that the first time you actually have this metric reported on their Form 8K is this quarter, when they had a double miss, I do think it is worth analyzing, guys, because before Q1 2023, this wasn't even a metric they reported in the releases, let alone in the Form Ks, which, as I mentioned, we've only done that once. But in the releases, they used to say prior, like, oh, up 100%. I'm like, but from what to what? They didn't even give us numbers. And then they'd be like, oh, analysts are saying we're going to get more customers in this segment. So their guidance for this has always been vague. Now it's actually at the point where not only is it a bit, and now it's not vague, it's specific, but it is very lofty. And again, the timing of it, I do want to let everyone know, to be aware of. It is odd that they have never reported it on their Form 8K prior to this earnings report.
All right, we do have, thank you, Adair, for clarifying all of that, and go check it out at TTV Research. All right, it's Friday, so as per usual, we do have our trader guest of the recap, I guess. This recap show is brought to you by Beta Pro and Global X. So let's bring him on right now. It's Steve, it's Trader Talk. Hey, Steve, hope you are doing well. You and I with the hat gang today, looking sharp there. I like that for sure. So cheers to you. We're in a new setup here. We're getting ready to renovate the studio. Well, we are renovating the studio, and right now, all behind us, all blacked out, but it's going to be much more colorful next time. You may be wondering what's happened, but we've moved our desk over here, and we're getting ready to rock and roll here at Trader TV Live. We do have Mitch coming from Trade the Pool. I don't know if, are you coming back? Are you coming down here, up here, I guess, October 13th or 14th? I know Mitch is coming through.
Oh, I really wish I could make it. I can't.
Steve, we have to take a time out here because I can't hear you right now, and Fabian's going to fix this. So Fabian, just go to my screen and I'll talk a little bit about this. No, not that one. Yeah, my screen and there. Okay, so sorry, Steve. Give Fabian a second. He's going to try to figure this out, and then if we can't have Steve on today, let's get him on maybe first thing Monday morning if it works for him. If you think audio is going to be a problem, okay? Fabian, and I do apologize, Steve, for that. We're going to figure it out because, as I said, in a new spot here today. All right, Oracle, nice downside play there in the after hours. BMNR for everybody in the chat. Are there any names? Yeah, Steve does do great reviews. We really like Steve, so hoping that we can get back on so they can hear Steve. I just can't hear him. So if I put my headset in, will I be able to hear Steve? Okay, let's bring him back on and try because I want to have Steve in play. Just make sure a program is on. Okay, all right, Steve, you're back. Say hi to me.
Hey there. Hey, can you?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, you're ready to go.
You can?
All right, yes, I can hear him.
I can't hear him.
Okay, don't worry, I can, Adara. All right, Steve, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on. How are you doing?
Great. I'm doing better now. I mean, I was a little flustered there when we didn't have you, but we do now, so thank you so much. And everybody in the chat loves you, so you can see that. They were like, do not let this man go. All right, so what a busy week, right? I thought today was going to go out a little like I was using that lamb and lion terminology there, but the Nasdaq just continues to break higher, get into new highs, and today takes it out again and closing at all-time highs. What do you make of this little rally here in the broader markets?
Hey, I mean, we've been trading sideways for multiple weeks now. I think that anybody getting caught up on the daily charts, anything lower, but even weekly charts can be a little misleading. But the monthly told the story. We are working our way up, and I think that bears are in for a tough end of September here if this trend continues.
Yeah, how funny is that? Because generally when we started the month of September, we were reminding everybody that it was like, I think it's on average, the S&P 500 is down 1.8% or so in the month of September. And it's known as one of the weaker months historically for bulls, and the bears take over. And I guess that's just completely going oppo so far here as the market takes out new highs. Do you ever follow some of those trends when we talk about monthly expectations or things like that? Or are we just reading charts and we don't really care what's on the calendar?
Well, it's a great question. I think that you have to kind of approach it from multiple angles. I think seasonality is super important, and it's no surprise we are in the depths of the worst 2 weeks historically. Like you said, significant drawdowns were to be quote unquote expected, but yet the setup was bullish. People are, everybody's dovish. Everybody's looking for a reason for something to go wrong. It feels like I think we're seeing that's kind of a wall of worry climbing here, where.
I was going to say because next Wednesday...
I don't know how much else there is to say.
Well, no, I was going to say because like on Wednesday we have the Fed. So what do you think about a possibility of 50 points? Like right now it's hovering around 7 to 8% or so on the Fed rate tool, that is a possibility. I don't think that's going to alter too much from there. But what if he does drop the hammer and he listens to Donald Trump there and says, you know what, I'm just going to go all the way, or not even all the way, but do the 50 points now, then maybe hold off in November and then maybe go another quarter in December. I personally think 50 points might actually scare the market a little bit and say, hey, maybe there is more trouble underlying and the market tends to go down. You have any opinion on Fed next Wednesday?
So this isn't my area of strength per se, but how I'm seeing it is I think you might be right that might spook the market a little. I also think there's a potential just for increased volatility in general if we get that kind of tail expectation where we could see big dip, big blow off top. We could see just less predictability, I think. I'm not really expecting the 50, but it's pretty unprecedented times here in general in America. So you always have to look out for potential tail risks that could bring this rally to an end.
Yeah, you've got that right. Very unprecedented times right now in the market. we saw a monster move in Oracle. I mean, talk about Larry Ellison, 80-year-old Larry Ellison, now worth $400 billion. I guess he's taking a little bit of that haircut there. Maybe poor guy's probably only worth $350 now. But there goes the move to the upside there for Oracle, and we saw quite a blowout quarter there where we were up 38, 39% at its highs when the inspected move was like 5 or 6%. And then since then, we've been sort of dripping to the downside. And I don't know, to me, this is kind of interesting. There's kind of the top that we had in the pre-market that day of Oracle when they did, or post-market, sorry, when they reported. We end the day in and around 290 to 291. Can you give us your technical take here maybe, and we can share your screens, Fabian? I think we'll work out on Oracle, any sort of levels to look at, because I want to buy dips and I want to buy pullbacks in strong names. Are we seeing one in Oracle right now? And if so, is it time to buy now, or are we waiting a little lower?
Great question. Oracle, what a mover. Absolutely insane. Yeah, pour one out for Larry Ellison. He's really struggling maybe today. But I think we're looking at the 21 and the 9-day EMA. They're going to be forming a confluence of support with the previous highs. And I think that's the area I would look at. I'm not sure we get there. So I'm also keeping an eye on this 50 fib of the newly formed range here. And that's at 282.50. So I'm keeping an eye there. I think it probably undercuts and hits this 9. Maybe tags this, maybe does not. But that's kind of what I'd be looking for. It's quite a move, though. Congratulations, Oracle Bulls.
Yeah, I know. That was one of those names where I don't think anybody ever has enough shares in a company like that, because it's not a Meta, it's not like a Tesla or anything like that where everyone gets all like sort of ready to go for it, and then it just kind of like bangs. And the thing is, they actually missed on the top and the bottom line, Oracle. It was the future guide and everything, and what a crazy mover that was. All right, Open Door. I mean, Open Door yesterday was up 80 or 90%. So I'm not sure if this is a symbol that you're used to trading, or maybe you've been in this week or not. It's kind of one of those meme crazy stocks there. But we got some good stories. We got a new CEO yesterday, Wednesday night yesterday for trade, went up 80, 90%. And then today we're pulling back just a little bit, down 13% today. But Open Door still has lots of stories, lots of social media behind this. It doesn't seem like it's over yet. You guys trading any Open Door? And if so, what's your opinion?
Open Door, hell of a move there. Unfortunately, I was waiting for it to tag a little deeper. I wanted this 21 EMA or potentially the bottom of the channel, since it was such a volatile mover. In retrospect, it had respected the 9-day EMA every single time. It came back to the center of the channel in that 9-day, and it just exploded there. So big picture, Open Bulls, I don't think they're done. I think what we're seeing is essentially a stage 1 base breakout, which is where you have this whole area from the lows to where it tried to spike up and rejected. You can also see the blue value area low. It's just surging away from that into open territory here. So I would be looking for it to heal some of these lows from the previous range that it was in, and try to recontest some levels up at the 13 range, 14 range.
No, I'm the same way. We actually had a talk yesterday. I thought Open Door had a chance to get to 12 today, but it never got going early. And I think sometimes stocks like this, of course, take a breather, right? And they take a day off, let it regroup, get into some levels where the buyers are comfortable again, and then it can get going. So that's 21 period moving average on the daily, right? Is that an SMA?
Correct. Or that's an EMA. I like EMAs for shorter term moving averages, but they're really nice because of the fractal nature of them. So if you're in an uptrend, for example, it caught on the 9-day EMA, and now I'm looking at the hourly chart here, and it's catching on the 9 hourly. So this will be an area I'm looking for it to hold, this $9 area.
Okay, great. That's kind of stuff that I'm looking for too. We're going to look for that on Monday for sure. I mean, I don't want to stop trading this name. You know, it almost hit 1 billion shares yesterday. I mean, that was absolutely outrageous. Any thoughts? I don't know if I've ever mentioned gold to you before. I don't know if it's something that you look at, but we had brand new all-time highs going back to, I don't think you were born, but 1980, all the way back to GLD and gold all-time highs. Just put that in a couple of days ago, and then even today, looks like GLD goes out up 0.13%, and trying to tick near and hold these all-time highs again. I don't know if you have a monthly chart or anything looking out for gold, but I would say, why bother even, I don't know, shorting this thing? It looks pretty strong. Might as well hold out on gold. I don't think that thesis holds anymore. Like it's a safety against stocks or anything like that. If there was a problem in this world, I feel like gold would come down as well, but it's a great asset class right now, holding up highs. What are you thinking about gold here at all-time highs? I would say a technician probably thinks buy all-time highs, but what do you think right now? Does it look okay to you?
Absolutely. I'm going to quote my buddy and somebody I really respect, Michael Noss, and saying, you will make way more money buying new all-time highs than shorting new all-time highs. This is a quarterly chart. So each candle here is 3 months. I wish my TradingView had data all the way back to the 80s, but this is not something you short. Anybody who's been following my general market theses for the past couple of years knows that I'm a major gold bull. I don't think it's going anywhere. There will be alternatives. I think you're right that there will be drawdowns with the general market, but overall, this is not an asset class you want to short. You don't short a 30-year, 35-year range when it breaks, or from the 80s, a 45-year range. That's scary.
Crazy. It's absolutely insane. That's what it was. It was a new high from 1980. I'm not sure of the month there, but does it really matter? But yeah, 45-year break. I'm getting excited when Tesla breaks 3-month ranges like it did today. And actually, let's talk about Tesla real quick. This was a trade that we had on board today, and it was a monster. I mean, I bought it down here at 372 right off the open. It was on my sticky note. It was a monster trade. We got my best out is 390, so I was about a $12 winner or so to the upside there on Tesla. And the reason why I liked it, Steve, was right into this break, and that's what we were talking about, that May high break right into there of 368 that happened yesterday, just into the close, took that level out, and you can actually go back into February as well. And this is another name, and by the way, we love, Michael Noss here, shout out to Canada. He had visited us a while ago. We went out for dinner. It was absolutely fantastic. We love Michael. He's a good friend of mine for probably 20 years or so. We had met when we first started trading as well. But right into here, 360 break right there on Tesla. Look, I think 400's a magnet, and we got to there today. I would also say that 420, maybe puff passing there. I know Elon likes to joke around 420 stuff, but I think that looks actually like a decent level, and I think an exhaustion may be up here around 440, but I think it can still go. 440 would be 10% from here. Am I crazy to think that maybe we see that 440 next week?
You're not crazy at all, and I love that you're just reading my mind. If you pull up my chart here, I have the meme level. That's the target, 420.69. I can't imagine it doesn't get there from a technical perspective. And when you add the meme confluence on a meme name, I mean, this universe is a simulation. Let's send it to 420 and see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong on that one either. Give us a couple names that maybe you're looking at. I've just thrown a whole bunch at you, a couple different classes as well, asset classes there. If there's anything you want to talk about or anything that maybe you want to put attention from our viewers over anything that you're looking at chart-wise.
I love it. Great. So let's start with the big winner that I think has significant legs this week. Rigetti was our big trade of the week here. We got the breakout. It's a similar chart to Tesla there, right? So we got the long-term basing out. I mean, obviously differences, but I think these names are explosive. They're starting to get back into the buzz atmosphere with the inflection IPO being discussed. I'm not sure when it's coming out. So there's buzz there. If you look at the other ones like IONQ, massive breakout here. I think these names have big legs long-term. This was always the thesis on Rigetti and all of these. They're going much higher once they clear the IPO bases. So keep an eye out there. If I can keep rolling, I got more.
Go for it.
Let's see. I'm looking at a lot of stage 2 breakout base breakouts here. I think these ones are the names I want to be in for the next couple months. These are my longer-term swing trades. Names like Wolf, I'm in this one from right about 1080, I think, 1090, something like that. Probably when it broke, when it broke this day's high or week's high. So that's a new trade for me. I think it has significant legs. I love this name. I'm looking at Air as well. It's another really clean wick-off setup here that's starting to break out of the spring or the SOS. And this one, don't hate me, but I like Intel, even though it did not look good today. I'm seeing the same kind of wick-off accumulation setup here for a move to 30 and beyond.
Yeah, no, great call. I mean, we talked, it's actually funny because we had Brian Shannon on Tuesday in this spot, and he had talked about Rigetti as well, and then obviously the breakout now happening, and it's on there for Rigetti. Okay, Steve, Trade the Pool. We love you guys over there. Every Friday, it seems like you're doing a stream, and I'm going to guess you're not taking today off. You probably have one right after the show, so let's promote it right now. Where can they find you in just a couple minutes?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we're doing our regular Friday webinar. This week, it is on finding areas of interest in rotations between small caps and large caps, how to kind of profit from that in a secular sense. And then we're also going to be doing an extended Q&A session today, too, because it went really well last time. So if you have any questions at all for me, come on in, learn some stuff about small caps, and then hit me with what you got.
Great, perfect.
That'll be at Trade the Pool, their YouTube channel, and Trade the Pool on their live stream. You can find it right there.
Perfect. I was going to say, because people have more questions right now in the chat. So we're going to run out of time, but go find Steve there. Go to the YouTube channel. Go to Trade the Pool. Find the stream. Steve will be on there momentarily. So again, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for all that analysis. Go Bears, go Bulls, whatever way you're looking. We're positive on all these markets. So thank you, Steve, for joining us again from Trade the Pool.
Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. All right, there we go, guys. Again, one of the best ones there. Thanks, Steve, for all the information that he continues to give us every single week and analyzing those charts for us. Okay, what's your plans for this weekend?
I mean, TIFF is happening, so I will continue to TIFF until TIFF stops happening. I can hear myself in my own ear, and Unity won't let me turn it off, so that tripped. I'm just going to unplug.
That's okay. You're good.
But yeah, no, TIFF. And then also, I do really quickly as well, because I tease this in the chat, I'm going to tease my Open Door infographic for you guys. So this is the many faces of Open Door. This is not done yet. I went into all these people's social media and then more. I spent hours doing this. I have a very concise timeline for how Open Doors, rally really happened. And so with that in mind, next week, X at TTV Research is going to be unfolding. This has been my passion project, so please check that out once it's ready to be checked out. But I do want to tease this for you guys, because look at how many people were involved in this. So many people. Yeah.
All right, so this is how many. This is my week is full of nonsense. Okay. All right, this is how many TIFF movies you've seen so far?
5.
5, boom. All right, Toronto International Film Festival. It's hot fire around the city these days. No matter what you're doing, do it with a loved one this weekend, and make sure you enjoy yourself and be safe. So shout out to all of our viewers. Again, thank you, Steve Talman from Trade the Pool, for joining us one more time here tonight. So look, without any further ado, that's Adara. I'm Sean, and we will see you. Thanks, Fabian. Thanks, Ramin. Thanks, everybody, for staying late with us. And thank you, everybody who's watching as well. We're back, rise and shine, bright and early, Monday morning at 8:30. Ciao for now.
Ciao.